Minions of the Zoo in space. Tonight's episode, The Tunnel of Terror.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Minions of the Zoo in Space. I'm your zookeeper for the night, Tier Alexander, here with traveling exhibit, Mitch and Nemo. Yo, Mitch.
Howdy do.
And Functional probably will be joining us a little later.
Yeah, there we go. I'm having a kind of tennis elbow thing. I guess I'll get over
it. Yeah, I've been having issues with my back, so I know the feeling.
Oh, yes.
So how's your, aside from, your tennis elbow thing, how's your night been?
It's been a weird couple of days.
Understandable.
Just, I really find it all quite indescribable. But that's all right.
Okay. Have you did today's
Well, of course I have.
Oh, I gotta do mine.
So I'm fine. I can do it again.
Right, the team.
Oh yeah.
Aside from one TFO, I actually like this event.
There's most of the TFOs I can't stand.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when I do them, I do them for, especially for event stuff, because I know I'm going to be doing it every damn day.
Yeah.
I go for efficiency.
Understandable. I realized that the battle for Starbase 1 is probably the fastest.
Yeah.
And it's probably the funnest. The only issue I have with it is that sometimes you get
listen up.
Paired with people
has not been going
that have a lot of good shit, and they just kill steal. I mean, granted, I'm not playing for points because I'm maxed out.
Right.
But still.
But the nature of this one is also such that the first wave is extremely weak.
Yes.
So you get people like me that sit around with a bunch of fighters and what's the other thing? And a massive firing arc, and things are just going to pop all around me.
Yeah.
You know? Well, meanwhile, for you with the limited firing arc, and you have to have people right in that firing arc, or targets in that firing arc, and you have to zip around a lot to get from target to target.
I mean, again, that's what I built. That's why my ship is real insignificant.
Right. I'm just saying that as a result, the early stages of this TFO are just going to be boring for you. You're going to be flying around, shit's going to pop before you get to
it. Yeah, I know. But once everything starts, like when the third wave comes, there's plenty of targets.
Oh yes.
Target rich environment. So.
Oh. I mean, this first wave is basically shit.
Yeah. I mean, they're just basically birds of prey.
Yeah, but I think they're actually a decreased. I think they're birds of prey that are not necessarily
fully kitted.
Not escort. What's the other word? Raiders. They're not necessarily raiders.
Okay.
You know, they're a lesser class of bird of prey, basically. And it makes sense. I mean, they pop easily enough under my fucking... I mean, a single beam array has nowhere near the punch of a dual-headed cannon.
I mean, once I break their shield with the voice of the prophets, it's pretty much done for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, I like the concept of this battle, this CFL, it's a pitch battle, and shit's flying everywhere.
Yes. I enjoyed that aspect as well.
Again, they should make more CFL. Shit, why not have a Borg one where you got Borg cubes just coming out of nowhere? No, I'm talking about this one.
Yeah, they got a Borg. They got a Borg version of this since the Mirror Universe Borg popped up.
Oh,
it's a bit tougher.
Okay.
Of course, it takes place in the Mirror Universe with all the same fucking assets.
So essentially, just same assets, just different names.
Yeah. I mean, it's still Starbase 1. You still get the bullshit ships trying to escape. And like I said, it's tougher because it's the newest version of the Borg.
Oh yeah, with their exploding ships.
Yeah. I'll have to see if I can remember what it's called, and we can pop it up after this.
Okay.
Yeah, same dumbass Starbase design. Basically, it's the same map.
It would be nice if they came up with, you know, a whole new storyline.
Well, it is a different story.
Oh no, I'm talking about in general. We got Control Alt Delete, and that added a new episode. That was
right. Well, that's the way it is. They are. I can't think of what I'm trying to say now.
Slow rolling content.
Yeah, basically. And it's understandable. I mean, the game's over 10 years old.
Fair enough.
You know, and it's the nature of these things. Oh, here it comes. Oh. It's the nature of these things, like any other entertainment. They're willing to put a big financial investment into things initially, and for the rest of the time they expect it to make them money for free, essentially.
Without adding anything new.
Right. It's why we get a lot of these science fiction space opera shows. A lot of them get canceled so early because the studio who's producing it doesn't want to spend money to make money anymore. They just want to make money without having to invest in their product. And it's really when it comes to entertainment, especially entertainment that's going to be like a TV show or a game, it's really a bad philosophy.
I mean, again, if your product is good, you will sell, you will make money, but you have to make a good product.
Well, yeah, and you also have to know how to not overspend where you don't have to.
Agreed.
And quite frankly, modern entertainment doesn't know how to do that.
So you know about the Star Wars Afterlife, right? And how much it costs to make.
Yeah.
So 180 million to make what? I believe 8 episodes, 3-minute episodes.
Right.
And it was trash.
Yes.
And I believe half of that reason is because they marketed it as a Star Wars property. When if you market it as an original IP, it may have went over well.
I don't think it would have. I think it still would have suffered from shit writing and agenda.
It probably would have, but it wouldn't have received all the backlash.
Well, yeah, I agree. I mean, there's with the name Star Wars, there comes a certain expectation. Even now,
yes,
there comes a certain expectation when you say Star Wars. Laser sword, for example.
Yes.
If you don't have a laser sword, and this is the mistake they make, they think if you don't have a laser sword, it's not a Star Wars property. And that's one of the places they're fucking up.
There are other things in the galaxy other than Jedi.
Yes, the Jedi are just the Jedi, Sith, and whatever else. That's just a very small piece of the overall puzzle.
Yeah.
But because they're afraid to do a show that's about, say, a band of smugglers to want to go legit and turn into a legitimate shipping business, well, you're fucked. You don't get to make that show. Even though that would be a really fun show to watch.
Firefly and Star Wars.
Yeah, kind of. But it's, instead of one ship, it's a
fleet.
It's not. I wouldn't say a fleet. It's a co-op.
Okay.
So if you can do a co-op where a bunch of smugglers are getting together to go legit, I gotta sneeze.
Bless you.
There we go. Jeez, there it goes again. All right. But yeah, a bunch of smugglers who want to go legit. You could have, and deal with the New Republic on a less than dishonest playing field,
Okay.
That's a foundation for an interesting show, and you can take it in a lot of neat directions. And yeah, you can have Captain Laser Sword in there, or several different Captain's Laser Sword who pop in every once in a while, not every episode.
Okay.
But every once in a while, when shit gets weird, yeah, Captain Laser Sword can pop in, and you can, everyone, this is still Star Wars. Be cool.
I mean, you could even have it that you can keep it. Oh, we gotta avoid the local Jedi Order, grunts, or we've been tasked with, firing Mace XYZ to planet ABC.
Right, or the New Republic is trying to court a smaller. Okay, let's just use the word Federation of Planets.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they're in the beginning stages of a negotiation, and they think that trade is a great way to create some inroads, so that eventually this smaller group can join the New Republic.
Mm-hmm.
So what do? We send in our group of traders and cargo haulers and whatnot, and oh no, shenanigans. We have to fall back on some of our old smuggling day processes to get certain things done, but we can't go overboard. And it gives them a line they can't cross, but maybe they'll have to. And even better than that, we can't have New Republic fighters as an escort. So some of these this smuggler group, someone's going to have to be in escort fighters of some kind to escort them. So they're going to have their own fighter wing, and maybe one or two of those fighters are, like members of Rogue Squadron, for example, who are undercover.
Okay.
And we can get a bunch of interesting political intrigue via masked as business stuff. And yeah, the Jedi will get involved every once in a while because something will get weird.
And
it will require the. All right. But we can do that in a Star Wars show, and it don't have to rely on the Jedi. And they're laser swords that don't kill anymore for some reason.
Oh, God, Jesus.
But boom, and I'm not even really thinking very deeply about this, but I've already got a foundation for a. Oh fuck, I hate this one. Oh well. But I've already got a foundation for something here that's far superior than what we're getting from Lucasfilm.
Okay.
Just in the very basic story idea.
Well,
And
thank
yeah,
you, James. My character is fabulous.
what was I saying there? But yeah, the basic story I've come up with is already orders of magnitude better than what Lucasfilm has thrown together, and it's it's got room for growth and possibilities
Mm-hmm.
and all kinds of crazy shit to happen, and it would still be Star Wars. And you know, you don't have to shoehorn in a bunch of stupid to make something work.
Yes.
The others counterattack
I mean,
has
again,
begun.
you could. God
Prepare
damn it.
for combat.
I hate these things. And I hate this damn mission.
So do I.
Data from the others.
But like you say, you don't have to shoehorn in. And shit, I would love to see a political drama where they're trying to rebuild the New Republic or build the New Republic, where they have to make alliances. And you could even make it a war story without the fucking Jedi because the Jedi aren't around anymore.
Right. The only Jedi we have is Skywalker.
Yes, you know, every prominent Jedi is MIA. You know, so you can do something like that.
Yes.
How do we rebuild now that, you know, essentially the crutch of the old Republic is gone?
Right. How you doing, Doc?
Yo, Doc.
Why not? I mean, oh, there it goes.
Doc Funk.
This Discord is being weird. Surprise, motherfucker! Yeah, I just got caught up in painting, and I was like, oh, I wonder if they're streaming right now. Who's watching these streamers? I don't know. One's watching the little one?
Pretty much.
We were just talking
Hey,
about
Elda.
Star Wars without Jedi.
Oh god, why?
Oh, no.
No, we're saying you don't need Jedi to make a good Star Wars show.
Oh, to tell a story? No, of course not. There's an entire
There's a whole world out there that they're refusing to look
galaxy.
at.
Yeah. And even some of the best stories are the ones told where there are no Jedi. Like, I mean, well, no, not that there are no Jedi, but like the Jedi don't play a central role.
Yes.
Right.
Or are powerless in some way, or lose their powers, or, you know.
The concept I was just talking about is a smuggler group that, you know, after the fall of the Empire wants to go legit and starts working with the New Republic, and the New Republic wants to incorporate a smaller empire, not like evil empire, but a smaller political entity of another conglomeration of planets. Probably about 6 of them. And they use this new smuggling group that's gone legit as a way to have inroads for diplomatic purposes.
Yeah, they did that in Legends, so you know they're never gonna do it.
Right.
There was the Talon Card and his crew. There were who eventually his conglomerate got so big that they actually one of their allies rescued a Star Destroyer and painted it red.
Yeah.
Actually really cool. Played a big role in the Yuzon Vong War. Those allies, and then there was also another one. They were mostly pirates, but it was like an entire like culture of pirates in this system, and so it was called the Courtship of Princess Leia. So that kind of gives you an idea of where they're going with it. And like the head of the pirates was like really infatuated with Princess Leia, and she kind of like was playing aloof, but like Han was getting pissed off at it because he's like, yeah, but you shouldn't have to play aloof at all. Like, I'm your man, babe. You know.
Han's like, but I was in carbonite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You kissed your brother. Don't talk to me about inappropriateness.
You know, but again, like you said, there are plenty of stories that could be told in that universe. There are plenty of stories that could be told in the Star Trek universe that don't require Federation or them to play a central role. You don't have to do
Well,
military stories.
I do think in Star Trek you do have to have
Well, Starfleet.
the focus. I do think needs to be humans.
Yes, but you don't have to talk about. They don't have to be military officers in Starfleet.
No, not exclusively.
But I think that that's kind of the central way you tell Star Trek. You have to tell it from the perspective of a Federation citizen or Starfleet.
I mean, yeah, Federation.
But you just place them in different settings. Like, it doesn't have to be a Federation ship. It doesn't have to be a Federation space station, as we saw with DS9. You know, it's a Cardassian space station that's, you know, taken over, or, you know, lesser extent, but same kind of thing in Voyager. Sure, they're still on a Federation ship, but they are up shit creek. They're completely, lost in space.
Right.
Oh no! Remember the pitch you had, Mitch, for the Federation like legal counsel that were dealing with different various, you know, legal issues, and they would go to different planets and stuff.
Yeah, basically, it was a Star Trek legal procedural.
Huh.
You know, where you had where they didn't have the military aspect, and you had the different races. Hell, we even had a Ferengi because they would deal with, you know, trade disputes, and who better to deal with finances than the Ferengi?
Right.
I can see a JAG show, like JAG the television show, not JAG the outfit and the military that it's based on, but like JAG the military show, but in the Star Trek world. Yes, that could be actually quite interesting, because you could get some of that same spirit of Star Trek in experiencing other cultures, even within the Federation, that have a different legal procedure and legal standard and all this other stuff. Obviously, we've seen snippets of Cardassian and Klingon tribunals, but we're not exactly, or we, you know, humans, the Starfleet and the Federation.
Yeah, we saw
not,
Bajorn
allies with them, but you could still have those kinds of like externally, but a lot of it would be, you know, member worlds, members of the Federation, etc. I think that would be super cool.
Shit, we've seen the Bajorns in there, how they handle certain legal issues. Remember when Dax was trying to be extradited to the I forget the name of the people for a crime that Curzon committed?
Yeah, but that was a local magistrate. That was a local magistrate.
Yeah.
Shit, you could even have
that was an extradition issue.
Yeah.
But no, the concept that we came up with, if I remember correctly, was we couldn't use Starfleet
Yeah, you couldn't use Starfleet personnel. It had
this was a group that was
independent.
They had to be independent of Starfleet, because a lot of times Starfleet was the issue, and you would have conflict of interest.
Yeah. Oh shit! Think about it. Remember Lon Suitor? What if some Starfleet officer killed somebody, and now they have to be on trial for it? You can't have Starfleet judging that because reasons.
Well, no, you could have Starfleet acting as counsel for the defense, but you couldn't have a Starfleet judge advocate general be overseeing the trial, if you will.
Yes.
You know, you would probably, and depending upon where the crime took place too.
Yes. So go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, the JAG officer, first of all, it was Claystron 4, Independent World, whatever. But the JAG officer could also be tasked by Starfleet to settle this dispute or that dispute, or there is a conflict of law within member worlds or whatever. It doesn't have to be the same sort of like typical JAG stuff. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
in Starfleet.
But what I'm saying is there are
I know.
there are,
I'm just saying.
matters of treaty where Starfleet could not be involved without there being a conflict of interest.
Correct. Yes.
And
Because
that's where this group would come in.
if it's outside of Starfleet, you don't want a Starfleet. What do you call it?
Starfleet
Judge
officer.
An influence.
over
You're
a
right.
case that involves a Starfleet officer and say
Hello.
an external.
Right. Hey,
How,
Rotten.
Because that would be conflict of interest. Yes, we want our people to be innocent and us to look,
Well, plus you
morally
want the,
pure.
you want your trial, hearing, whatever, to have the veneer of
impartiality?
yes. Even if it's only a veneer, you need to maintain that.
Shit.
Yeah, but
Even
that's
if
why they
Starfleet
need.
would be totally legit in how they're handling it. You would need that veneer.
But that's exactly why they brought in Els Renora, the Bajoran arbiter,
Yeah.
what do you call them? The
Magistrate.
the term, yeah, the local magistrate, because Bajor doesn't have any official like entrance into the Federation, and B, it's this is a person within their space, so
Yeah.
that is
Yeah,
about as
the
impartial
attempted-
as you're going to get.
Yeah,
And
they
the
have
attempted
have
first
say.
expedition took
Her
place on
specific-
Bajoran soil.
Yeah, and her specific Els Renora's specific task was to deal with these kinds of things. Alien comings and goings and legal disputes that tend to deal a lot with, funny enough, disputes between Bajor and the Federation.
Yes.
So even then, it's kind of like, well, yeah, we're bringing in this local magistrate, who's also weighed in on cases against the Federation previously. So it's hard to deny. And even what's his name, Tandro was even like, yeah, that's acceptable, because he knew what was up. He's like, you make a fair point, you make a great case, and I know for a fact that these people have ruled against.
I was going to ask if this had to do with space game or this had to do with real life, and I was actually surprised that it was still about the space game.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's about a different Star Trek series, not just the game.
Shit. You would have to have people with knowledge of various their laws, because even within the states, laws differ. Something illegal
Yes.
in a state may be legal in another. So we would expect the same, even if the Federation laws say, okay, this is illegal. Well, in our space, this is less serious.
Jolly old time.
Yeah, you look at when oh god, what was his name? Cousin Gala came in and
Selling weapons.
peddled weapons with Quark.
Work.
Yes, the Federation prohibits non-sanctioned weapon sales. So there is no arms dealing within the Federation unless it's the Federation themselves. And typically they don't do that, but, set that aside. But, the Bajoran Council of Ministers said, well, no, this guy actually helped us win the war against the Cardassians,
So don't fuck with them.
don't fuck with him. You're in our space. Sorry, but not sorry.
Resistance of Starbase 1. It's a Borg TFO.
All right.
That's the one I'm talking about.
You playing functional?
No.
All right.
I got a headache. Would you change your fucking battery?
Ooh.
You?
What do you mean?
Is it not working?
Meanwhile, getting back to Star Wars, there was a if you did want to do a show about a Jedi, my concept is the thing starts off with a Jedi Master and an apprentice, not a Padawan, an apprentice, because fuck that weird ass language. But the Jedi Master takes his apprentice to a the apprentice is someone who is not strong in the Force. So to compensate for that lack of strength in the Force, he takes her to a sword instructor who is so damn good with the sword that he has been known to best Jedi in competition.
So in
Sword
canon,
master.
in
Hello
canon,
there.
there was a Jedi master who couldn't use the Force at all, but he was an
Yes.
amazing duelist.
Right. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. But that one, and that would still just be one aspect of a much broader story. See, I think in Star Wars, because the way it started out, you have to tell a story in trilogy form.
I mean,
So
depending on what you're doing. If you're doing a show, then no, you don't have to tell it in trilogy form. But if you're doing
well,
a
yeah,
movie,
yeah. If you're doing like a streaming series, that's a different animal.
yeah.
But if you're doing films, it's got to be in
I
trilogy form.
No, I don't think so. Not unless you're dealing with really grandiose overall arcing
Yeah, maybe you're
themes,
right.
because you can tell just one-off stories. But you're right. If you are telling the big overarching stories that are galaxy-spanning consequences, then yeah, you need a lot of time to be able to tell that story. I told you guys just the other day I finished watching Rebel Moon Snyder cut, which it's still much better than the original, but it's still a pile of shit because you're taking what should be fucking 7 seasons of television basically and cramming it all into 7 hours of film, and it's like it's still far too disjointed. Never mind the poor writing choices and stuff like that, but just purely from the being able to get everything out standpoint, it got out a lot more. It fleshed out a few more of the characters, but the rest of it is still lost. Like, do you know? You all saw it, the first one, right?
Nope, I don't watch
Nope.
crap.
Oh, you guys didn't see it at all? Okay.
No,
Well,
I've
Here you
pretty
cannot
much Zack
say that.
Snyder because slow motion ruins
it
my brain.
pisses me right the fuck off. It's
I don't like
so
Zack
fucking
Snyder.
annoying.
So.
And dude, your final cut is nearly 4 fucking hours, and you're still gonna do slow mo every other fucking action scene? What the
Yes.
fuck is wrong with you? Anyway, so
I
long
didn't
story
know
short,
Snyder's
there's a thin-like
remake
turncoat
of the zombie
to
movie.
the air quotes Empire, and in the original release, it's just like, oh, he's just there. Now in the Snyder cut, the fucking proper version, the entire opening, like, prologue to the movie, a good 20 minutes, is devoted to this character's backstory. And immediately, right off the bat, I'm like, holy shit, is he gonna make a decent movie? Obviously, I've already said he did not, but it was still much better than the pile of crap that he presented before. It's incredible how just even a little bit of forethought and character building and world building can even make a pile of shit less of a pile of shit.
Oh, that's
Still
true.
a pile of shit at the end
But
of the day, but you got a nice loss.
I maintain that it was done cynically by Snyder and this, because they saw what happened with Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, hey, this is a way we can double dip and make more money on a product. Because when they released Rebel Moon, Snyder almost immediately said, hey, look out for the Snyder cut of the Rebel Moon coming in 3 months.
What do you mean almost? No, it was directly after it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That's why I said it's the studio. It was the Netflix producer saying, well, we need you to pump out an hour and 40-minute movie like now. And he's like, well, it's still going to take me like 6 months to finish cutting this film. They're like, no, just put it out, whatever. And then after, and he's like, okay, but I'm gonna release my own movie after that. They're like, yeah, fine, do whatever the fuck you want. And it's kind of like, obviously there was a lot more to that than just, like, that's kind of like the basics, very dumbed down version of it. And it's dumb because, A, why does Netflix care? They're not really pay-per-view. It's
Right.
a subscription's going to be a subscription. It's not really going to change the subject. You need a broad variety of product offered.
They still want
Yes, they do.
eyes on their product. And if they can get eyes on Rebel Moon and then get eyes on Rebel Moon the Snyder cut, that's going to be better for them in the long run, business-wise, no matter what. So it's basically a double dip. Here, Zack Snyder, take $115 million, make a 58-hour epic in slow motion, and
A very pretty picture.
let's sell 1 hour of it first, and then re-release it so we don't have us a content drought.
Again,
Yeah, I mean, like you had said to me in private before, there's that notion, yes, the double dip, but more so that because of what happened with Justice League, he's starting to make, air quotes, the Snyder Cut a new brand.
Yeah,
It's no
it-
longer
started
just
a trend.
no longer just a Snack Zider original. It's a Snack Zider like epic, like grandiose, like you
Yeah.
know,
Oh, this is
my
the stuff
movie,
I
but
wanted
like
to get.
full of crank.
it's basically a way to overvalue himself.
Yeah. Which I mean, could you think of any? Like I didn't think somebody that fucking egotistical would, but.
It is more, hey, look, this is the stuff I wanted to do, but the studio wouldn't let me.
Well, yeah, see, that's just it. That's their marketing gimmick.
I don't believe that it's the studio not letting you do because you're a Zack Snyder. They will let
Well,
you do what you want to do because your name
Hold on.
alone sells.
Hold on. If it were something going to theater, it would make sense. They have more time constraints. But when you're talking about something being on Netflix, they have no reason not to let the director basically do what they want.
Exactly.
People are going to stream it. It's at their own convenience. So trying to say, oh, the studio wouldn't do this. The studio has pushed its dick into so many goddamn films and fucked them up. It's ridiculous for ones that have gone to theater.
Wait, Rotten, because yes and no. Yes, typically they do because they're not directly funding a lot of these projects. A lot of these projects are brought to them. And they say, we have this movie, will you give us money for it? When in cases like this, where it's more of a partnership between Snyder and Netflix, there's a expectation date. It's not a due date, but it's an expectation date.
Yeah.
And
I'm just saying it functional. I'm just saying that it's here for them to make what Schneider wants to see on a Netflix.
I agree with
as
you. I agree with you. I'm
compared
telling
to
you,
a regular
behind the
theater.
scenes baseball, that like that's generally how it happens. So that when it comes to the time and they're like, yeah, but we don't want a 3.5-hour movie. We want it by the expectation date, and we want it to be just under 2 hours at the most.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay. And then like I was saying to Mitch's point, yeah, I think that Snyder is turning around and saying, I'm making this a thing. Because as soon as Rebel Moon was out, he was like, and give me another 6 months, kiddos, and we'll have the Snyder brand cut.
Yes.
I mean, I openly admit, like, the only Snyder movie I've really liked for the most part, and it's only like parts of it, is the remake of Dawn of the Dead, and it's by nowhere near as good as the original. Like, the two best parts from that movie are the opening before they get to the whole, the mall, and then them adding, Richard Cheese's version of Down with the Sickness.
Again, I think Zack
Did you know,
Snyder's
Ron?
overrated.
I was in that movie.
And what'd you say was overrated here? I was
Zack
hearing
Snyder
late.
is overrated as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He's
I'm not going to say
I agree with you,
overrated. I'm
that's-
going to say overvalued.
Okay.
Yeah.
and under question.
Yes.
He's typically, he's like Lucas. He needs somebody with a strong hand to basically say, no, bad dog, no, bad choice, stop it. You're
Well,
being an idiot. And he doesn't
Especially
really.
when his epic movie, pick which one, doesn't matter which, can be cut by 38% by just getting rid of the slow motion.
Yeah. So
I mean, like, other than, what was it, the Justice League movie and now the Rebel Moon thing, what's the next most well-known Zack Snyder movie other than I can think of the remake of Dawn of the Dead?
Man
Oh,
of
it's
Steel.
Man of Steel,
Yeah.
but there's also Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch is what really gave him.
Sucker Punch
his
was good. I like that one.
Batman v
fucking hate that
Superman.
movie. But Sucker Punch is the movie that really solidified him as like this wonderful painter of moving pictures. And I still maintain that he does a fucking fantastic job of making
Oh yeah,
really
you
cool
get a still
animated
Snyder
GIFs,
film and it's
basically.
gonna be gorgeous.
Like I'll openly admit as well for like Sucker Punch as well, the director's cut that added like 4 minutes of extra dialogue and whatnot made the movie exponentially better than its theater release.
I'm going to say this. I did not like Soccer Punch. My mom loved it.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, which version did you watch?
Both.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say because basically the thing that makes it better in my opinion is that a little bit of expose up to the actual lobotomy.
I've never seen it.
So, Dawn of the Dead remake is actually probably in my top 10 movies to watch.
It's okay. I do know George A. Romero fucking hated it.
Yeah, I know.
First of all, you had to buy it
well.
because you were in it.
Well, no,
He
I
hated
actually
it because
love
of-
to watch it. I'm in it for like 30, not even 30
Which part?
I'm a human running away.
Oh, okay.
It's just
So you
it's
don't-
just a
you don't wanna
throwaway
reveal who
scene
you
of
are.
people running, basically. That's a lot of what I do is a lot of background work and like extra work. I never really do any lines, even in a lot of the murder porn stuff I was on for TV. It was always, cop number 2, FBI agent number 7.
Okay.
I'm the guy escort because I have that look apparently. I'm the guy, holding the cuffs or holding the suspect's arms who's cuffed and like walking him out the house kind of thing.
Okay.
So never really any lines, but point me out all over the place.
They're
And
basically the
I
ones that can
actually
eat-
really liked his.
Stand there and look intimidating.
Yeah, basically. I'm tall. I'm kind of lanky, so in camera it kind of fills out. And I have that look, I guess. I'm always cast as military or police or some kind of authority like that. But I actually really liked
Dawn of the Dead remake.
no, well, yes, but Justice League, the Snyder version, not the Joss
I was gonna
Whedon.
say that for the Dawn of the Dead remake,
I
know
think
the thing
as
that
bad.
was zombies.
You get that invite Mitch for the TFO?
Yeah.
Because as
So I've only
much as
seen
I
bits and
don't
pieces of
like
Justice
Snyder,
League.
I hate Joss Whedon even more.
Alright, Joss Whedon can do...
Joss Whedon does better at freaking TV shows than he does movies.
Yes, but Joss Whedon, the director and writer, I like. Joss Whedon, a person, can kiss my black ass.
He
Mine
needs
too.
to stick to his lane and do original stuff. Cabin in the Woods, fucking excellent. Buffy, Angel,
Firefly.
both really solid shows. But the
Firefly.
second you give him something like a Marvel property or whatever, it's like, no, fuck off. Fuck
Alright,
off.
I got one better for you. Let him do an original Marvel property. Give him the back catalog and say, you craft something from these characters.
How about we don't?
I think
go
he could-
fuck himself.
I think he could do it. I think he could. If you gave him like
Why? I mean, could he do it? Sure, but why would you want this tier? You hate him. I don't want him to have work, and I don't like him as a person, and I don't like him as a director.
I don't like him as a person, but I do like what he does. I like his art. I like his stories. I love Buffy as a kid. I love Angel. I fucking love Firefly. And it pisses me off they didn't get a second season.
Well, you can blame Fox for that.
And I do blame Fox for that. Like many shows.
You know what the chain of command is?
Huh?
It's the chain I go beat your ass with. Let you know who's in charge.
But it is literally, if you gave him, like you said, give him originals, give him the B-list, the Z-list heroes that you aren't going to use. give him somebody like fucking,
No.
give him Luke Cage, cause they haven't done anything good with Luke Cage in a hot minute.
No. I'll tell you why. Because again, he does well when it's all contained unit of his own kind of stuff. So let's take Firefly for instance. These are people who've come together and who live together and work together. And so if one of them's a sarcastic dickweed like Mal, it's gonna rub off on people like Jane, like Shepherd Book. Like Book was very reserved, very conservative, a very straight-laced kind of guy, but after, a couple of weeks, couple of months with them,
He was
more than a couple of months, but like he starts cracking jokes or whatever. And the thing is, in Marvel, you can't have Thor, Captain America, and Black Widow and all these people coming together, and then everybody's basically Spider-Man. Like, no. Spider-Man is Spider-Man. Everybody else is
But that's
their
the issue
own
with Marvel
character.
now.
Not
anyway.
everybody's a... Yeah, but it's because of Joss Whedon. It's because of Avengers. They were like,
You know
oh my
what
god,
works?
Avengers did so well. Now everybody's got to be a wisecracking, sarcastic dipshit. I'm
Yeah,
so
that's-
sick.
Marvel's been doing that, from my understanding, way before the Avengers. For their
Batman
shitty.
Begins did so well, so everyone's got to be dark and gloomy.
And again,
And that's
it
how we
pisses
got
me
Zack
off.
Snyder directing Justice League.
It pisses me off that they didn't give me a
No, not
proper
really.
fucking Ultimate Age anybody. Like they used elements of the Ultimate Age, but didn't fucking use the Ultimate Age. Like I want to see alcoholic Tony Stark.
Oh yeah, Demon in a Bottle would be, well, you see, but they did that, but they did that with PTSD.
Here's where they fucked that shit up. That's the kind of thing we got to throw this in, we got to throw this in, we got to throw this in. And that's how you get Superman v Batman or whatever.
And it wasn't Superman v
and-
Batman. It was Superman v
Well, no.
Batman fighting Doomsday.
Right. Because we got to have this and we got to have that.
And they didn't do any
Which, on the
of the
flip
set for it.
side,
The thing is-
you had Captain America 1 and 2, you had Iron Man 1 and 2, you had the Incredible Hulk, you had these properties, these main characters already built up. So
Right.
now you can bring them together, you can expand on, so you still have some storytelling to do, you can expand on people like Hawkeye and what's her name, Black Widow, a little bit more, and of course the Thor movies. But you already have these. You don't need a Batman movie. You don't need Superman, even though we've got Superman movies.
Well,
Why not start off with like Martian Manhunter? Why not start off with? Well, they already did a Wonder Woman movie, so like that's your starting point. You don't immediately go into Justice League and then backtrack and
No.
go, hey, here's Wonder Woman, here's Batman, here's this guy, here's Aquaman. This is so fucking stupid. You blew
Yeah,
your
the
load
whole
before you
cast
even entered the woman.
Well, they keep trying to give everyone an origin story, and not everyone needs it. Like, one of the big credits
Exactly.
I do give for Batman v Superman is the Batman origin story is told before the opening credits are fucking done.
Well, yeah, that's where
Like,
you do
that's-
that. That's where you do that, exactly.
Because, like, for so many of these characters, you already know their origin story, and for so many of the others, like, you don't need to do that. You put that as a fucking minor flashback scene in the movie.
Well, yeah,
Well,
if,
throwaway
like
line.
right now, check it out. Here's how you do a Superman movie. All right, starting a new DC film franchise. Start with Superman, and of course, Batman's going to be the follow-up. But you start with Superman, and you do it like you're watching the animated series. The whole opening credit sequence is Krypton blowing up, his little rocket ship being launched to Earth, etc., etc. That's all opening credit stuff, so you don't tell an origin story. But it is going to be when Clark Kent / Superman first visits Metropolis. And he's going to get a job with Perry White of the Daily Planet. And because of the world we live in now, the Daily Planet needs to be something that is not a newspaper, because newspapers are a failing business. So,
Well, they can be a media conglomerate
well,
which is
just
kind of
follow
what
me
they
on this.
did.
Follow me on this. You'll love
Yeah,
this, I
go on.
think.
Yeah. I already do.
Lois and Clark can still be investigative reporters, but Perry White is based on James O'Keefe. In the
Ah,
Daily Planet, is very much O'Keefe Media Group.
So essentially, they're
legitimate.
YouTubers.
No,
Well, they're
not
legitimate
YouTubers.
media in a sea of illegitimate propaganda.
Makes sense.
Yeah, they're
Say
not
that
basically a major legacy media outlet.
Yeah, they're not major.
Like they're popular, but they're not one of the major outlets. So
No, but
Similar,
they're
like-
huge. They're still
yeah.
big. And
Okay.
they're
still
basically
in
like
mainstream
the
television
legacy
because
media's
Perry
rival.
White- because Perry White is part of the last of the generation of investigative journalists, and he's passing that shit on to people like Lois Lane and Clark Kent. And that's how you do the Daily Planet.
And you modeled Jimmy after Tim Pool,
No, well,
sleeping on couches and going to Rwanda and
wearing a
Germany and
beanie,
watching Antifa.
balding early. No,
Always wearing a beanie.
yeah.
Covering up that bald spot.
But then, with movies like this, especially with a character like Superman, you have to have room to escalate. So we're not going to start with General Zod, and we're not going to start with Doomsday, and we're not even starting with Lex Luthor, although Lex Luthor is in this movie.
Yeah, you don't start with a world-ending event.
Right. You start with a villain like Livewire.
Yeah, and you can start with like a
electricity
city.
can't hurt Superman.
Or
You do something that's really only going to affect a small area.
Right. And you make it a small scale story so that you can build the stakes and escalate matters later. And with Lex Luthor, yes, he's going to, and this is where it ties into the title of this movie, because my movie would be called Superman, the Man of Tomorrow. And the thing is, Lex Luthor is being praised by Metropolis for bringing it out of poverty. He's going to be, in this version, Lex Luthor is a genius when it comes to material science and business. So he's not going to be a pissed off real estate agent like in the Christopher Reeve movies, where because that was always a land grab. But it's going to open up with we're awarding Lex Luthor with the Man of Tomorrow award because he's not only brought Metropolis up out of poverty, but he's future-proofed it a bit.
Yeah, and he's investing in the long-term viability of the city that has
Yes.
kind of fallen stagnant previous to his intervention.
Yes,
Because
he
he's a
turned
philanthropist.
Metropolis.
Yeah.
He basically turns Metropolis from a failing municipal venture
Like
into
Chicago.
the city of tomorrow.
Yeah, into Wakanda. He turns Chicago into Wakanda.
Yeah, basically. And he makes it profitable, and he's going to make a lot of money, and everyone else is too. He's a hero, basically. But then this thing with Livewire or whoever starts, and holy shit, what do? Up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Suddenly this, right on the cusp of Lex Luthor being awarded the Man of Tomorrow award, here comes Superman stealing his thunder, and what this first movie kind of lays the foundation for Lex Luthor's jealousy of Superman. But Lex Luthor's not the villain yet. He's jealous, yes, but he's not maniacally jealous yet. That's going to be about the second or third movie in. And probably a third or fourth movie before Lex Luthor is even a villain. But we get to see him, and we get to see his character grow. We get to see his jealousy escalate. We get to see the threat levels faced by Metropolis and the planet Earth escalate. And,
I mean, that would even depend on how it goes. Not necessarily have him be the direct person causing the villains of Batman, but be an indirect cause.
sometimes, yeah.
Or Superman, not Batman, my bad.
I knew what you meant. But yeah, it's because he's trying to reclaim that that hero status that he thinks Superman stole from him.
Yeah.
It's jealousy.
Yes, it's envy. And just again, it's such simple storytelling. You don't need an $850 million budget per film to make it work. All you need is a good story.
And of course, a good cast and director. But that,
Well,
yeah. The central story is going to be he, and the sort of like early days of the first movie is fine, and then the second movie sort of like another day in the life, but there's a little bit of escalation, and maybe we as the audience get to learn a little bit more the higher stakes behind in the background that are culminating and coming into focus. And then the last movie of the trilogy is, okay, now's the stakes, the big stakes, and you
Right,
had
and
that
from
with
there-
both Captain and Iron Man.
And
The
from
only
there-
thing I would recommend personally is I would say with it being a Superman movie, with how the villains are going to be and everything, it probably needs to be animated so they don't have to CGI the fuck out of it.
I wouldn't mind, practical and CG.
Actually,
I
I
mean-
would like a series of animated films.
Well, I mean, it's just one of
the
those things.
MCU did.
They're just it's something that they keep wanting to do. They want to overly CGI, and it's like if you're going to go that route, just CGI the whole fucking movie
Right.
and use the
That's-
actors as the fucking models and shit.
That's the thing, dude. Like, DC's animated movies are great. They're fucking fantastic.
They used to
Live
be.
action movies suck ass.
And
Oh,
then
man,
you
I'd say to have
juxtapose
it
that with
like,
Marvel, and Marvel's movies were really great, and then their animated movies were kind of like, eh. This is,
Well, here you go. Have any of you seen? I think Tier has the CGI Resident Evil movies.
Yes.
I've seen.
I haven't
those.
seen the fourth one, but like for the guy they had playing, who does the voice of Leon S. Kennedy, he is also the person who did all of the physical modeling and wearing the freaking suit with the balls on it so they could get the actual look and everything.
Oh, right
The
on.
mocap. He did the mocap.
Yeah, motion capture. So like quite literally when they added him in, what was it, like the fourth or like the fifth or sixth movie or whatnot, when they went with someone else, it's like, you already have Leon S. Kennedy. What the fuck are you doing?
But you can immediately tell the difference by how the character looks and moves.
No, quite literally, the guy who voiced Leon S. Kennedy was the model of how they made Leon S. Kennedy from 4 on. Like, he looks like him. So it's like quite literally, you have Leon S. Kennedy in fucking real life, and you're not using it. But like going back to the Superman thing, like I said, because of how much of like special powers are not going to be used, it kind of falls for the same thing for like the Avengers. It's just you're going to be CGI-ing everything onto a green screen, so why fucking deal with live action to begin with?
Might as well, honestly. Just go back to the old DCAU art style.
Yeah.
If we're gonna do
I mean-
your Superman trilogy, I want a single villain per movie. I'm tired
Oh,
of
yeah.
like that. I'm tired of like,
Well, that's what I mean, Tier. You have to start with these smaller villains like Livewire and Parasite and
No.
Toyman. You know,
no,
you
I'm
have
talking
to
about
start
just one of
to
them.
lay a foundation, and you don't even have to make the. You don't even have to escalate the threat level per movie. All you
No.
have to do is tell a good story.
No. Like you ever
But he
remember
also needs to-
Batman Forever? Batman Forever had Bane, Poison Ivy, and Mr. Freeze. 3 villains
Yeah.
that do not mesh well.
Right.
Like I could see
Well-
Two-Face and Riddler doing their thing because technically they're about mind games, and the Riddler loves fucking mind games, but Two-Face is about flipping a coin and seeing if he's gonna fuck with you. If you pass the coin flip, you live. If you don't, you don't. You know, so those two, their motivations don't necessarily conflict.
And see, I would
They
have to
needed to
disagree with
because
using
of the
Parasite as a not saying that that's because Parasite has a higher probability of being a world-changing event,
Yeah.
so it
Parasite
makes
could
sense
be
to have him
deadly.
later on.
It
Yeah,
does,
but that's-
Parasite. I think when Parasite started out, he wasn't.
I got
he
an
wasn't,
idea. I got an idea. All right,
I think he got
Parasite-
hungrier. Basically, I think he got hungrier the older he got.
I
But go ahead, Joe.
got a perfect idea for this. Have that Parasite is a direct creation of Lex Luthor. Have him be, this is the 3rd movie event. He's already pissed at Superman, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to make a threat that even he can't deal with. And since I made him, I know how to defeat him. You know, but he
Oh,
gets
so
out of hand.
basically do basically pull the Incredibles from.
Essentially. And now he's created this monster, and he can't defeat this monster, and Superman still beats him. And he goes, you know what? I have to take matters into my own hands. And that's when he goes directly against Superman. And that completes his villain arc, or his transition into a villain.
Well, see,
Two
my
things.
idea is eventually they do deal with the Brainiac threat. And Superman destroys Brainiac, but Lex Luthor collects a bit of Brainiac. And from that bit of Brainiac, Lex Luthor is able to reverse engineer and create his own brand of technology.
Yeah, that would work.
Two things. One, to your point, Mitch, your scenario for like rebuilding Superman, it's great because you also get to grow with the character as you're
Yes.
telling these stories. And you see the character himself, Superman, starting learning not only to control his power, but like learning to as he's getting stronger and learning he can do more and more different things, and he finds creative ways to use his powers, etc. Also, there could be a conflict within him that, you know, at one point he let loose too much, and he's now got to learn how to meter his power and not just go crazy every time. All
Well,
that,
yeah,
and
like-
that's going to be central to telling a story about somebody who at the end becomes so powerful.
Shit.
In Superman.
Like with Livewire, he doesn't want to kill her. He
Yeah.
wants to top her.
But I mean, he's also learning how to, you know, do more than just
right.
punch.
He
guy.
knows that the solution can't be just punching her into oblivion.
Shit.
Yeah.
You
And
can
I think
in the movies lay the foundation for the Justice League. Have him reading the newspaper, reading the magazine, and it talks about Bruce Wayne donating a priceless artifact to a museum. You know, have it like, oh, the island of the nation of Themyscira has sent over a representative for peace negotiations. Lay the foundation.
Exactly. All that foundation is laid. You have in my Batman stories that work in this universe, he's an actual detective, and not just a guy who whips out a gadget that says, "Hey, it's the blue one."
And
Batman
my second
figures shit out.
My second thing is, since we're already here, their next step or what they should have done instead of Justice League series type stuff is they should have put out a Cyborg standalone. They still can, and it's not a superhero movie. You do it like they did Captain America: The First Avenger. The first half of the movie is greeny, pathetic, Steve Rogers, but you're learning that he's a good person. You're learning that he's got a lot of inner strength and courage and all these traits that the procedure that eventually is going to make him into the Ubermensch isn't going to give him. It's not going to instill truth, justice, and the American way into him. That's something he's born with. That's something he's grown up with, and he's developed
that's
himself.
nurtured into him by
So
his family.
what you do with Cyborg is you have him, you know, starting off in high school and be like, oh, this kid's great. He's gonna be the best, and he goes to college and blah blah blah. And the whole first half of the movie is like, you know, Friday Night Lights. This kid is going places, and not only is he a fucking fantastic athlete on the field, he's super smart. He takes after his dad and is able to, you know, learn a lot and not achieve a lot, but learn a lot and capable of learning. So that sets up his mind growth later for when the accident happens, and then you turn it into the superhero movie.
Right. It's his intellect that lets him cope with becoming a cyborg.
And how he's able to manipulate the
right,
because he basically becomes the ultimate computer program.
But you also establish that he's that all-American good-natured kid.
Good kid, you know, like stops
he sees
the
the other ball
bully.
players on
He
the
always
team.
looks out for the underdog, and you know sometimes he's willing to make the sacrifice to save another person.
Ooh,
Um,
you could have it that it was a issue with say something, and he has either I help and I'll be late for this really important issue or this really important thing, but this person really needs my help, or I just ignore it and go with myself and be selfish.
But the
I'm
point
assuming
is,
we've
like, the
all
first
seen
two
Radio.
acts are like not superhero movie at all,
Yeah.
and then the third act, that's where the science fiction sort of kind of kicks in, and for most of that third act.
If I can interject for a second,
1 second.
instead of having it,
Gets the powers, and he has to deal with all that other stuff.
I was gonna say, instead of having it be he has to make the decision to do this, because of the way he was raised, being the good, he may not be the best of grades, but have him be his body reacts to just try to help someone. His initial response isn't, oh, do I do this and miss my meeting, but this person helps me? He's just like, no, I have to do this.
Yeah.
Because it's the right thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's that whole
Maybe
thing. You
because
have
of
to,
you
if you're
having-
gonna go through that, the character has to do what's right because it's what's right.
Yes.
He just automatically knows it's right. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can juxtapose that after he gets the upgrade. Let's say his backstory is he basically gets the RoboCop treatment with aliens that can become super powerful. So one of the first things he has to do is he knows doing this action is what he has to do, but like he's still like torn up. He's like a monster. Blah 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 blah. But he acts anyway, and afterwards he's kind of like, but I didn't even that wasn't me. It was kind of like my body just knew what to do. And it's like, yeah, because you're now understanding your mind and your body are transcended and are basically a fused being. They're no longer separate. It's not like you don't have control, but when your deep-seated convictions like this are so strong, your body's just going to react. And that's, again, sets up his discovery of how to fully access certain aspects of his power, and that's where you can leave off with the fight with the other guy who got or a parademon or something stupid.
I got the perfect setup for this. It is set up right after the Brainiac movie. Again, tying these two movies together to create the larger movie eventually. It's Brainiac technology, from the fight with Brainiac earlier.
I wouldn't give it that too much. I would say it would be technology Brainiac took from another planet.
No,
Because if you bring too much back to Krypton, it's kind of that whole thing of like, you're basically making everything centralized predominantly around.
It becomes meteor rock.
Yeah.
well,
I think
no,
the
that-
idea that they actually executed well was the fact that obviously in Justice League it was Star Labs, but it's supposed to be Rotncorpse who gets a hold of Superman's the ship that brought him here, and very secretly been known.
reverse engineer detect.
Only Lex Luthor knows about it, so it's like to Mitch's sort of idea of having Lex being this big philanthropist, revitalizer, builder of society. That's where he's kind of getting it, and he's doing that thing like they did in Voyager, where the guy goes back in time and brings back the hollow emitter, and the guy's basically reverse engineering and slow rolling this technology out to not be like, hey, we've got now laser guns and spaceships. No. Little things. Here's a microprocessor. Here's a smaller microprocessor. Here's an advanced RAM system. Like those kinds of things.
Here's a
Make it
trillion
relatable for real
terabyte
world.
machine.
Basically, like the original, to kind of bring another thing to it. So basically, like the plot of the original Terminator, how it went. They didn't just immediately jump into 40-watt phaser guns. It was they had the arms start to slowly reverse engineer it, slowly make the current technology better because they were able to enhance it.
And they were also able to replicate the material from which it was built.
Yeah.
Like
love
that new
I would
alloy
just-
that they found that's a robot arm, they're like, holy shit, this stuff is nearly indestructible. Well, let's figure out the chemical composition and make it. Like, that's fucking
See-
incredible. That's life-changing. And yet
Yeah,
it's
I-
something so small that they could just fit into a movie that would just be like,
Oh yeah.
fantastic.
Like my only other
That's
difference
what
I would say
skyscrapers are
personally
made
is
out
like
of.
the introducing of the other characters of like Mitch was saying you have someone reading a magazine or whatnot. You don't have it be Clark Kent since majority of it's going to be based on computers. Like you would have like Lois or what is it, Jimmy, whatever. Like they turn away from the computer and you see an article on screen of like in Gotham or in freaking Thing of Themyscira, Atlantis found, shit like that, to where it's not
Yeah, it's just
hint,
one-off references to say these things
it's
exist.
a little Easter egg that the
yeah.
audience
you
gets
don't
to see.
dream. You don't have the Flash show up in the dream sequence.
Yeah, it always boggled me. It really always boggled me in the MCU. Like they never make a reference to any other superhero. Like when the world ending shit goes down, oh, it's just the Avengers dealing with this. Why not have we have the Fantastic Four in XYZ place dealing with the threat there? It makes no sense that only the Avengers would handle something that could destroy the planet.
Right.
And that one, it's because they haven't introduced the others, and Hollywood's too fixated on keeping one property, and they've had good times of introducing others, and they've also fucked it up. Like
I mean,
typically,
the biggest thing
introduce
is that
others
they're,
would be end
they're
credits.
re-engineering the timeline, like you said, Ron.
Yeah.
Like it's something that unfortunately is just a matter of course for translating something like comic books, which have like nearly 100 years of backstory to pull on,
Yeah.
to something in the modern era that's digestible by modern and older audiences.
Well, I mean, the other major problem with that Mitch brought up as well is the fact they try to take several different comic book storylines that aren't always from the same authors.
Fucking jam them all in.
They jam them together.
Because
That's
again,
the problem with X-Men '97.
Well, yeah, look, they did that with the Warcraft movie.
Yes.
Yep.
They tried to jam shit from every game into it, and
From like
it was
8
a
years
double
worth of
of
story.
fun.
Yeah. I mean, X-Men '97 did the same goddamn thing. There's like 5 big story arcs, all culminating in a single goddamn 25-minute episode. What the fuck is wrong with
that
you?
shit
Are you
would never
brain
fucking
damaged?
fly. That would never work.
And again,
Well, it didn't work.
you know what this
And
is?
it's funny that that's the reason why, for a lot of the younger audience, anime or manga and whatnot is just kicking comic books' asses, because quite literally, if you want to start Dragon Ball, Naruto, Bleach, fucking Azumangaya or some shit, like they all have a chapter 1. This is where it fucking starts.
Yes, and there's a logical progression.
Right. Like I said, you look at Suicide Squad. That movie was a fucking toaster fire.
But they tried to cram a shit ton of shit
Yeah.
in there.
Well, not just that. They went from Zero to Blue Sky Laser.
Yeah.
But it's.
Well, they
I mean,
also made it basically, what was it? Fucking what's Will Smith's character? Killshot?
Deadshot.
Deadshot?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like Deadshot, Harley Quinn, and Friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. But it's just funny because Rotten, a lot of the points that you bring up that you want to get in these movies, like little indirect ways of telling other story that is still relevant, but maybe not central to the main story being told in that film. And Mitch's thing about kind of the same idea with the characters.
With mine, like if we're introducing the other characters, it'd be that whole thing of like at the end of the movie, so they've beaten the big bad guy, and Brainiac has been defeated, and Clark shows up at the Daily Bugle, and they're having a conversation. He's like, "Hey, Jimmy," and that's when Jimmy turns around that he was reading an article on. Like,
yeah, but I mean, I don't know when the last time you saw it. I just rewatched it this week or 5 days ago. The Justice League Snyder cut. That's all stuff that he does, and that's why I think it's actually a fun movie to watch because it does the things I want. It's not perfect. It's not a good movie, but it does.
Yeah,
the things I want.
I've only seen bits and pieces of that movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's well worth a watch. I mean, it's definitely, I would say, probably his second best movie behind Dawn of the Dead. But I mean, that's a lot of bias and that's a lot of personal taste. As far as the best movie, I don't really think about it because I don't think of him as like this guy's a good movie maker. He's an entertaining movie maker. If I want good, I'll watch like a Gore Verbinski movie, you know. Hey, call back.
I don't necessarily know who that is because I don't really know directors. But when you're talking about
He's
something
the
of
guy
it's
who
going to
did
be,
The Weatherman.
Ah.
oh shit,
Yeah, he's the director who did Weatherman. That's why I was like, hey, it's a callback.
I completely forgot about that. I say, but when you're looking at something
So
that's
he
going to
did.
be like Batman, like the Marvel or DC universe, your predominant audience, and what most people don't realize, what you're aiming at to bring in there, is going to be basically your preteens and teens. So these movies have to be fun.
Yes.
Yes.
Like we're not looking at trying to do Deadpool and that whole thing to where it's completely adult oriented, but Deadpool makes sense to be rated R. Logan, which I still need to watch one of these days, makes sense to be rated R. Any of these ones are going to be like PG-13.
Yeah, they don't have to be rated R to work.
No.
I mean, but it fucking
I
helps.
mean, even
Look at Pirates.
No, it helps for some, but for something
Again,
like
Gore
Superman, we're talking the fucking Boy Scout of America, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
but
yeah,
like
that's
again,
PG.
if they did a true Ant-Man, like again, they took a shit from Ultimate Age. If they did a true Ant-Man and Wasp, there's a lot of abuse in that one. He smacks her a
I'm not
lot.
saying, I'm saying for some of the specific characters in that whole thing.
Yes. And to see, I would love to see in a live action setting, Ant-Man fucking fighting Captain America and getting smacked with a goddamn wrecking ball. Yes, like he fucks up the Wasp. Like he really fucks her up like bad when they fight. Like he summons a shit ton of ants at her, and he goes out to do something, and Captain America finds him, and he's in a bar. He goes, "Step outside. I need to talk to you, boy." And he goes out and he starts fighting, and he just goes giant on me. He fights him in a fucking construction zone, and he smacks him with a goddamn wrecking ball. Goes, "If you ever do shit like that, I will fucking fuck you up again." Well, not in those words, but still.
clearly.
He calls like Shield and say, "Have somebody pick his ass up."
See, the thing that they don't get is that you can do humor without it being a comedy.
True.
Without
Like
everybody being
you can't have
Smart
every character be Tony Stark, played by Robert Downey Jr. It doesn't work.
Yes.
What you can do, though, is if you remember in the Avengers, early on, Fury visits Steve Rogers, and Steve says something to him about I've seen nothing you could show me would make me blank or whatever. And Fury says, "I'll bet you $10 you're wrong."
Yeah.
Then when they get on the helicarrier, before
He
they
slips him the
realize
pen.
the helicarrier, and the helicarrier starts flying, and Steve
Takes out of the water.
Yeah, comes up out of the water, starts to fly, and Steve walks over to Nick Fury and hands him $10.
Yeah.
Because he thought it was just an aircraft carrier, but nope.
Yeah, see, that is funny without being a comedy. And you can have that kind of humor without degrading your characters if you're a good writer.
Yes.
Yep.
Because you didn't have to say anything, just hands him $10 and goes about the day.
And he doesn't have to be a wisecracking smartass Spider-Man character to do it.
Spider-Man has to be, but no one else does.
Yes. But that's my point, is someone like Joss Whedon turns every member of the Avengers into fucking Stark or Spider-Man.
Yeah, they all become Quip and
it's
Quipperson.
so awful. It's so awful. Especially when they first come together. Like I said, he when you have a self-contained sort of small unit like he did in Firefly, yes, everybody's sort of traits are going to start rubbing off on the other characters, and you're going to have that kind of interplay, but it's not going to be, Jane's not always the wisecracking smartass. Mal is, because Mal's that character. The whore, I forget. Anara. She's not. She's a consummate professional prostitute, but she's a professional. But eventually, because of her dealings with Mal and this crazy cast of characters, she does have her own wit to fire back. that's a different kind of wit than Mal's.
Yes.
So it works when you're when you're dealing with a unit like the Avengers, especially when you're assembling the team for the first time, having them all be that sort of like witty and bouncing off of each other in the same tone with the same kind of jokes, that's where we absolutely fail.
Yeah.
Again, like comedy.
And that's where I'd say the Guardians of the Galaxy actually worked, because who were the only ones who had an actual relationship? Rocket and Groot.
Yeah, everyone else was getting to know each other.
Yeah, and I mean, you had like Peter Quill, who was kind of like had to be a dad to two of the characters, Rocket and Drax, and he had to be, well, he wanted to be with Gamora, and like, so there is that different interplay, but you get to be along for the ride as they develop as a team, as friends, and sometimes more than friends, but like in different ways. So even though he's a parent to both Drax and Rocket, he still interacts with both of them a little bit differently.
Right.
Like with Drax, it's kind of more like disbelief that he's this literal, and with Rocket, it's like, well, I'm dealing with a mischievous child with the intellect of a fucking super genius,
Yeah.
Hell shit, the way he dealt with teenage Groot.
Oh, that kind of stuff really made me smile. Even though I fully admit I was not a fan of Guardians as movies. I didn't think they were great, and I didn't think they didn't entertain me. That's like on me. So I mean, it is what it is. I understand what people love about them, and I see the good in them. I just wasn't personally a huge fan. I was way more into Cap and Iron Man.
Well,
Like,
yeah,
I will
Cap and
sing the
Iron Man
praises
are
of
more
those
relatable.
trilogies until the end of the day. What?
Captain America and Iron Man were more relatable.
Well, yeah, because they started at the ground and they worked their way up.
Yes.
And
Like,
they
I
don't
mean,
have
okay,
fantastic
maybe not with Tony
powers.
Stark. Tony Stark, you start at the beginning of his awakening, basically.
And you
Yeah.
have the issue that technically they don't have fantastical powers when they start off. They're just regular men who do some, and who eventually get these extraordinary powers or super suit.
Yep.
You know?
But they were different in that Steve, who was a good person,
and Tony
what's
had
his
to
name?
become
Tony
a good
Stark.
person.
Tony Stark had to become one because he was just a spoiled shit. And then you get that notion of, with great power, great influence comes great responsibility. And he realized that his complete disinterest in all that's going on with his name, with his power and his influence, was something he abhorred. Like, he hated it, and he was like, okay, things have to change.
And I fucking
And
hate
he
that.
go through the trials and tribulations of him trying to be a good person, be a better person.
And
Whereas
I keep
Steve
saying
just starts off, he's a good person.
I keep saying this, and I'm going to continue to say it. I fucking hated the fact that Marissa Tomei, Aunt May, takes Uncle Ben's fucking line.
Yeah.
Like,
But I don't like any of the Spider-Man movies outside of the Raimi trilogy. I will watch Spider-Man 3, the one with the black costume symbiote thing. I'll watch that any day of the week over any of the other fucking
and that's another
Marvel
thing.
Spider-Man
That's another reason why I say it should be one villain a movie. That way you can focus on a single villain and not have.
I will still say this.
movies.
I still think Andrew Garfield got the best Spider-Man. Very, very mediocre at best, Peter Parker. He had the wit and everything of how Spider-Man's supposed to be.
Look, when you boil it right down, Captain America: Civil War is still the best Spider-Man movie we ever got.
I fucking hate. That's another thing I hate. So you know what the Civil War is in the Marvel comics?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That is not the Civil War. And
We
I
just
agree.
got Avengers butting heads, which is like,
yeah, it is literally a scuffle,
Yeah.
a civil scuffle.
Avengers
Again,
airport fight.
if they kept with
They
the
should have called
formula,
it Captain America baggage claim.
Yeah.
if they kept with the fuck, because that one scene is well worth the price of admission. Fuck yeah. If they kept with the formula that made the movies really great, and I'm talking, let's go back to what made Blade great,
Mm-hmm.
and Captain America, and Iron Man, and parts of the Hulk. And what made them great was just telling good stories that happened to have these people. Captain America, the first Avenger, was a period piece movie, a World War II period piece movie, who just happened to have a super Captain America, and you're building up. And so if they kept up that formula, let's do a couple of mutants. Let's do some mutant movies or TV series or whatever. They kind of tried to do it, but it was always everything's got to be big and grandiose. No, let's keep it simple, stupid. Let's
That's why
do
Daredevil
baseline
worked for
stuff.
season 1.
And then when you want to make that summer fucking once in a decade blockbuster that fucking kills everyone, that makes $10.5 billion, that's when you do a proper Civil War, a proper Secret War, a proper Avengers versus X-Men movie. And that's something that can take that studio 3 decades and make billions and billions and billions of dollars by simply keeping it simple and telling good stories that just happen to have superheroes in it.
Shit, the Civil War itself, you could do, if you do that properly, that can span at least a good 10 years worth of movies. Because everybody was involved in it. You had fucking the unmasking of Spider-Man, you know, and Aunt May getting shot because of this. You had the breaking up of the Fantastic Four. You had the death of fucking several superheroes in all together. You had the complete collapse of their fucking team. You can tell these stories with one storyline.
Yeah.
You know, you had people that
keep it simple, tell good stories.
You had people that technically weren't involved, like the fucking Runaways. You could use that shit. You know?
Because it was also a very good idea. They took.
What happened?
You okay, Functional? Functional went in.
Coffee just went down the wrong way right before I started. Because they basically, and this, if you're planning, you gotta plan, and the people you gotta get to play these roles have to be the right people. And again, with the casting of Chris Evans, not a massive name at the time. He did a couple movies. Obviously, he was Johnny Storm, which great addition. Great addition. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. Great addition. And so they gave him his superstardom that he now enjoys by being Captain America. RDJ, already a well-known person. Excuse me. Sorry about that. But they gave him his big second chance to get past his previous. The problem with RDJ was he was too old to be Tony Stark. If you're planning to keep him around for 15, 20 years, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why they had to kill him off, because he thought he needed to do other things, and he was getting very expensive. They all were. Look at
and again,
Hemsworth.
That's where they're too chicken shit to commit to what they've got working for them.
Well, I mean, it's also the marked difference between Marvel Studios and then Marvel Studios Disney.
Yeah.
You immediately see a difference in the quality of, well, everything, the writing, everything. The only thing you don't is basically the special effects. Obviously, all you need for special effects is good money, and you know.
Then it didn't also help for each subsequent superhero after that. They kept trying to get big name actors into it. It's like, no, you need to go with like basically kind of more lower A tier, higher B tier actors, so that way they'll stay on longer, and you can put more towards what you need to put towards instead of paying fucking just major name actors.
Yeah, and you look at that with them adding Paul Bettany. He was already a well-known. He's not like top tier, but he's already a well-known actor. Mark Ruffalo, again, same thing. But then you bring in the addition. You bring in the addition of someone like a Chris Hemsworth. Again, virtually was working, but virtually unknown. Olsen. Elizabeth
Olsen, yeah.
Elizabeth Olsen, pretty much an unknown. Like, I mean, and young enough, and a lot of these guys were young enough. I just think RDJ and Tom Hiddleston, again, working, but because he played Loki, catapulted him into,
Super
he's
stardom.
the it man right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, these kinds of things, if they're done well, like, it's going to catapult you. So you can create.
You can
As long
do
as they're a
it.
decent enough actor, you can create these people.
Yes.
Who's the guy who plays the new Spider-Man?
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland. Can't fucking stand him. Can't fucking act. Fucking horrible. But he does the voiceover for Spider-Man really, really well. I think the one Tobey Maguire played the best Peter Parker.
I dislike.
Wasn't the best Spider-Man, but best Peter Parker.
This is my honest dislike of fucking not Tobey Maguire, Tom Holland. He plays a far too young Spider-Man. I fucking hate young Spider-Man.
I don't mind it, but I see.
Well, the thing with that is I kind of agree with Tyr. Where they're supposed to be having it when they introduced him in Civil War, that's supposed to be he's married to MJ at that point.
Yeah.
So he's in his like mid to late 20s getting that thing. So it's like they keep going for these the way. But I'll still tell you what sold me on Garfield for freaking him playing Spider-Man, not Peter Parker, was the whole scene where he catches a dude trying to break into a car, and the dude pulls out a knife. And he's like, "Oh my God, you found my one weakness, an extremely small pocket knife." And he hits him with the webbing, and he's just like, "Oh, well, that takes care of that."
You know, again.
Yeah. Peter Parker is timid and meek, but Spider-Man's a smartass.
Yeah.
But even then, that's just Peter Parker masking his fear.
Oh yes, it's completely that.
Like those quippy jokes, those one-liners are him trying to hide the fact that he's scared shitless,
Oh.
and he
The
doesn't know
Batman.
what the fuck to do.
Oh, how did he get into the car?
And let's not get into that.
How?
Yeah.
Because he's a Spider-Man.
But he
I know.
gets into the car. You don't see how he got into the car, and then he gets out before the guy does, and there's no way he could have got out before the guy did.
Look, that's just an editing mistake. And
That's just stuff you can overlook. I'll be fair. That's stuff you can overlook to enjoy the show.
Yeah, but once you see it, it never goes away.
They just should have kept the
Yeah.
Raimi trilogy as the Raimi, like the beginning of Spider-Man, and they could have just told more stories about Spider-Man. They didn't need to do 2 more fucking origin stories.
Yeah,
I know
but
one was Sony's choice and one was Marvel's choice, so I get why they felt that they had to, but they didn't need to.
Again, I just want a single villain that you focus on instead of a trio or,
Unless
yeah,
you're making
you don't
the
do-
ensemble movies, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
triage.
you shouldn't have the multiple villains until you're like doing a major event, but also been like 3 movies in of a single character. So like, if you're gonna do the Sinister Six, you legitimately need to be like 4 to 5 movies in.
And
You
Willem
need to be
Dafoe
at
was
least
robbed.
6 movies. It needs to be 7. Let me tell you why. Because each villain, you need to explain why these villains fucking hate Spider-Man.
Yeah, and Willem Dafoe was robbed. I mean,
Yeah, he was.
Sam Raimi said, "Oh, he's wearing the armor because only a madman would wear that costume." He was a madman. If they'd given him some prosthetics, so it looked like he's wearing a goblin mask.
And
Willem Dafoe could have done so much more with that character.
Yeah, I think
The thing-
if they went with a prosthetic and stuff and had that metal mask, because
They
Willem
wouldn't
Dafoe's
need
face is very
prosthetic.
defined.
The
They
worst
just
part
need a
about
prosthetic nose and a prosthetic chin.
The worst part about the Tom Holland version is that he's not the genius inventor that he should be. A lot of the shit that
He is,
by
but-
Tony Stark.
but
And I
he-
know it's part of the story of him having to look back and work within himself and do what he's capable of without the stuff. I get that, but they completely erase the fact that no, he should be the one and maybe later in the third movie he gets it and then loses it
hold
and
on.
has to dig down deep. But like, you can't just have him gifted this technology by.
I will
by
agree with that,
Spark.
but
It's
functional.
so grating.
You think when he started, Holland started playing Spider-Man, he was playing 15-year-old Peter Parker, right?
Batman, can you do me a favor and back off your mic a little bit? Because you were deafening everyone else up.
Am I? My apologies. Is that better?
Thank you. Yes. It's like I could hear functional, then all of a sudden it's like you're going. It's like, dude, I'm trying not to make the jokes about the mic and a penis and whatnot, but
Please don't.
Well, that's why he
will
talks
try.
like that.
Cock Mike.
My God.
well, it's the whole joke of it's a microphone, not penis. It's not supposed to be directly against your lips.
Yeah, seeing as you're all playing, I'm joining in. I'm loading up Star Trek offline, online as we shriek.
All right. But again, I just. All right. My issue with Tom Holland's Spider-Man. First off, too young. He was in high school and then it continued through his run. He's just leaving high school by the end of the last movie.
That's comic book accurate.
And that's why I'm
My
saying.
biggest complaint on that is the too much reliance on the Iron Spider suit.
Yeah.
And then
That was way too soon.
my second issue with that is they made Tony Stark stupid. You are telling me that Tony Stark gifted this man this incredible technology, but had no backup, no fail-safe to stop it. Tony Stark, the man with had a Hulkbuster suit because he fucking knew that at some point the Hulk could go crazy and I need to stop him. You're telling me that he didn't have a backup plan? Oh.
Yeah.
Better than that, Jared. He's the man who wanted to put a suit of armor around the world.
Yes. So you're telling
In all reality as well, Tony Stark, by I want to say actual original comic things, wasn't that smart. Majority of that stuff was thought up, if I remember correctly, by either Reed Richards or Spider-Man himself, or Peter Parker, because they're two of the smartest characters in fucking Marvel.
I'm saying as far as
Burke was more of an
Marvel
engineer.
The MCU goes. Tony Stark is played off as he knows things like, holy shit, I need a backup plan for my backup plan. And he didn't have a backup plan for Peter Parker. And he lives in a universe. He lives in a universe where he's seen people get cloned. He's seen people get fucking taken over by magic. So how in the hell he doesn't have a backup
plan for what?
Edie. In No Way Home, Far From Home. That the shit that Mysterio steals. Or
But
gets
he like Stark is dead at this point.
Yeah, but he still. But the fact is that he built it and he said, "Okay, I'm going to give it to Peter." You didn't have a backup plan, like in case Peter goes evil.
Well, or at least two-factor authentication.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Well,
well, he did it.
Bio-coded,
It didn't work.
bio-coded to Peter, and nobody else, not even Happy.
Yeah, but
could
my
access
issue,
it.
my thing is, my thing is, Peter could have gone evil, and there would be no way to stop him.
Yep.
No, that's.
Let me know when you when you hit ESD.
Without some external force, like the Venom symbiote or something. But like
he didn't know that, and Peter still could change. Shit could happen, and Peter could, or Peter's mind could get taken over. He lives in a.
I understand that. I understand that, but I mean that's not Peter. That's someone acting against Peter. Not something he could really.
But my issue, function is, he would have had a plan in place to stop that. To stop this attack.
Why he coded all of the Iron Man suits to work for just him.
Yeah.
When when Rhodey's like, hook me up, he's like, sorry, they only work on me.
Maybe in the next, maybe next time.
Yeah. Even then, again.
He's now got a suit of armor made
Shit, remember
from the new metal he's found, right?
But you're also incorrect because they were coded to him and Pepper.
I got one better for you.
In the comics, Stark has now got this being gifted this new metal. I forget what it's called.
Extremis.
But it's strong enough to destroy adamantium, right? it can't be affected by magic, and it bypasses Spider-Man's danger sense. I call it bullshitting him.
It is
Oh, yeah.
shitty.
I mean, modern comics are just as trash as most modern movies.
Well, again,
That's the reason why Marvel went fucking bankrupt and Disney was able to buy them.
there's a, all right. So again, Spider-Man's powers work on things he perceives as a threat. A family member will never trigger his danger sense. He doesn't perceive them as a threat.
Actually, that's not true. If they become if they start acting dangerously towards him, yes, he will see them as a threat.
I mean, okay. So in the MCU, when Aunt May throws the banana at him, it didn't react. It didn't proc his danger sense, and he didn't know that it was a banana. He just
Banana really. I mean,
We need no longer fear the
Spider-Man
banana.
1 and 2 is
Yeah.
a banana. It's not going to kill him. It's not going to even hurt.
still didn't proc his danger sense.
But it's
wouldn't.
it's
It's
bad
not a
Spider-Man
danger.
writing because
Yeah.
the spider sense isn't like danger. It's he can sense.
It's also
How
like
can I put
precognition.
this?
He can
In
sense
a
the world
sense,
around
yes,
him
but he can
subconsciously.
Exactly, hypersense to things around him, things in motion, where things are in relation to
Sounds.
himself. So if something is coming in on a vector towards him, that's how he feels that there's going to be a punch or a banana or even a snowflake that gets to him. And that, I mean, that last thing, the snowflake, is something that he doesn't really sort of develop until way late into the comics. I think it's something like maybe in the early aughts.
Hold
And
on.
he, with just a little bit of focus, and I believe it was a meditation technique that Strange teaches him, that he actually does become that sort of like almost Jedi Master like, able to concentrate very hard and be able to feel like every little speck of everything around him, kind of like this instant echolocation. It was actually a really good. It was actually a really good end game point for his power of spider sense, and a really good explanation of how it works without being midichlorians.
There's no need to swear.
Hold on, I'm gonna read this one by James. Cock Mike is much more believable hero than MCU version of Miss and Captain Marvel.
Oh, Captain Marvel.
I wish they'd done a comic book Faithful Captain Marvel's film series.
And have Anna Paquin just Trainer
Sexy
drawing.
Captain Marvel that isn't.
No,
isn't
comic book
rated
accurate. That means the first Captain Marvel is Marvel.
Yes.
Oh no, let's do a comic book accurate Captain Marvel after Rose touches her.
No, comic book accurate Captain Marvel is male to begin with.
Oh well, Miss Marvel then. Let's do a comic book accurate after she gets touched by Rose in the floor. God damn.
because if you're going for this long, multi-decade storytelling, multi-hundred
TV show.
dollars, what you do when you introduce the X-Men and then have them go do the Shi'ar stuff, so they're out in space, and that's when the first big sort of like Avengers kind of stuff happens, and that's why they weren't there to help or to butt heads or whatever,
Yeah.
because they're off doing their things in space. And then when the X-Men come back, that's when the Kree-Skrull war kicks off, and the Avengers, get ripped off a planet before, and then the X-Men come home, and Nick Fury, shows up and goes, "Oh God, thank God
you're
you guys
here."
are back, because the Avengers just disappeared, and we've got nobody." What do you mean nobody? Like, Earth's superheroes just left.
Like shit happened, they're
What
gone.
have you
man.
done? And they're like, "Oh, well, we just had to go fight a interstellar war on the other side of the galaxy." Oh, interesting. Well,
hold on.
now that you're back, we
Who's
have a
just
few
left?
problems. Magneto
Yeah,
is.
we're at TF. We're at Earth Doc 6.
Yeah, I just transferred to 11.
All right, try for it to 11 then.
Very well.
That's right.
My phone won't return. I mean, we were listening to you guys, and all of a sudden everyone just went quiet, and I'm like, what the fuck?
They're doing video game stuff, so shut up so they
Discord
can
happens.
I shut up so they can get it done.
Yeah.
Oh no, y'all went straight quiet. No one was talking. It was just like
It tends to
I heard.
happen.
I heard nothing, but it was too quiet that I didn't even hear what would be going on in like the
I'm now in
background
11.
coming into your
Yeah.
mics.
Oh, there you are.
Yes, here I am. Rock me
But are
like
you
a
gonna rock him like a hurricane?
Indeed.
It's Cock Thunder Punch. Let's see.
We got what? But regardless, the problems with the superhero movies in general is that they don't know how to handle escalation,
Yes.
and they don't know how
Yes.
and as a sort of a side effect of that, they don't know how to start on the proper scale.
Yes.
Whereas they used to.
Yeah, they
Well,
did.
that's a different Marvel Studio. I mean, that was
again-
Marvel Studio being Marvel Studio. Now they're Marvel Studio done by Disney. I was saying just before you got here, Batman, it's you can see exactly like everything starts going wrong. They start doing things way out of whack. They started small, they told good stories, and that's all we needed. Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Yep.
It's not a period piece like the first, it's a spy thriller.
Well,
yeah,
if you
It
notice,
happens to have Captain America in it, and it's telling a good story, and that's what they needed to continue doing. They didn't do it.
Right. And I was gonna build on what you were saying about that earlier. The first Captain America is a World War II film.
yeah.
Mhm.
Have you noticed though, throughout those films, Chris Evans always acted like a man from the 40s.
Yes.
As he should.
It was how he talked, how he moved, how he acted. Most of them will say the lines, but they'll say them in a modern way.
Right.
I mean,
And yeah,
again,
that
that's
was
how he should
that was
act.
one of the reasons he worked so well in the part.
Like his character was, born and raised in that time frame, so he
Yep.
would behave in a manner, even if you put him in a modern setting. So, like I said, it makes sense. Goddamn Tholians.
Goddamn Tholians always tearing down your chitty wall.
Always putting up their shitty webs.
And that's one thing I'll give Sweden about Avengers is that they still kept that with Chris Evans and Steve Rogers. Oh, I get that reference. Or when Tony's like, oh, that man's playing Galaga, Steve looks over like, oh my God, what's going on? Like, what the hell's Galaga?
Yeah.
He thinks it's because Tony's bringing it up, it's something important, and he's kind of like, what, and then he realizes it's just Tony being Tony, and he kind of like, whatever, doesn't say anything.
Right.
But like he does. This is why I like Chris Evans a lot.
There's
He
only
gets-
one. Yeah.
gets into the role.
One of my favorite comments is there's only one God and he doesn't have long hair.
There's only one God, ma'am, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't dress like that.
Yeah. But one thing they really got wrong with that film, it was to make Iron Man seem so good. When Thor hit Iron Man with that lightning, it should have fried every circuit in his armor.
Yes. Powering the suit up to 400% is mathematically bullshit.
Well,
Damn near impossible.
yeah. Like I said, that amount of raw electricity.
No, not really. Not with how the arc reactor works.
Yeah, even then, it's a huge amount of power, almost instantly. It's going to fry everything there before the suit can compensate.
Yep. Powering the suit up to 400%.
I mean,
Oh, powering the suit up maybe, but the rest of it, no. Ah, look, another Roy Orbison Weaver.
I mean-
Tholians with their goddamn tractor beams and their goddamn shitty webs.
I understand what you're trying to say, but I think you're wrong because even in Iron Man 2, he says to Ivan Vanko, "Oh, nice design, a little primitive, but your cycles are a little low." And then when Vanko shows up again, he goes, "A double cycle." You know, he doubled the cycle of the arc reactor that he created, and we know that the arc reactor's power output is dependent on its cycles. So it's a different type of energy reaction. Obviously, it's science fiction, but it works on a principle of not creating the energy, but supercharging already existing energy. And that's why when Thor hits him, he's like, "Oh, we're supercharged, baby," and that's why it works.
No.
Now, I do kind of see your point about it overloading the suit. Like, it should have had a point of the suit shuts down, and he's like, Friday? What's going on? Why can't I move? But then he, like,
It was
comes
still
awake,
Jarvis
like,
then, I believe.
400%, holy shit. But by that time, like, Thor got in a nice thunk, you know?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, the bit which was comic book accurate was when the Thor hit Captain America's shield.
And nothing happened, yeah. Well,
Oh,
the
no, something
shockwave,
happened.
but to them, nothing happened.
Yeah.
the unstoppable force meets the immovable object.
Well, even then, the vibranium.
Fucking brilliant. Which then they play on in Endgame, which again, this is all pre-Disney planning. Completely different types of storytelling than what we get from when it's a Disney studio telling the story.
Again, I think they should have let Steve Rogers use the hammer when he fucking
No, I've got a better idea. You see, you use a Stan Lee cameo, and Stan Lee's character, right, is one of the janitors in the Avengers Towers, and
and he left the hammer.
yeah, he just moves. He puts it on the table.
Yeah, you'd have like, oh, he's cleaning up, like, it just lifts it up and just puts it down so he can sweep under, and he doesn't even think about it.
Lifts it up, just freaking wipes down the table, sets it back down, goes on, just up and do whatever's in his headphones.
Don't get me started.
Why
about that.
am I
More
constantly
God of
getting a mission
Hammers?
briefing here?
What do you say?
I am gonna switch to my computer, so I'm jumping off my phone.
Alright, what did you
Right
say, Functional?
I said, are you Thor, God of Hammers?
Yeah.
No, you're Thor, God of Thunder.
I'm Thor. What do you sort of want
Bring
to
the thunder.
Again, I wanted, if they use Ultimate Age fucking Thor, he doesn't use the hammer to wield his magic and fucking fly, which, because he throws the hammer and holds
Ultimate.
on.
Yeah, but Untimely Universe Thor is oh, you lot left the have you lot left?
What?
No.
Ah. Yeah, Ultimate Thor, his hammer was actually a device built by Tony Stark.
No, Ultimate Age Thor is a highly advanced mutant. Like, all the Asgardians are highly advanced mutants.
That sounds awful.
Yeah, which
I hate modern fucking
rankles on me.
Huh?
They should be gods.
Well, again, the Asgardians themselves are gods in a sense, but they are just highly powerful, overly powerful mutants that exist for fucking ever. Like they will never cease, but they're highly advanced.
You see, that's different to the mainstream Thor and the Asgardians.
In the non-Ultimate Age canon, they're just gods, but in
Yeah.
the Ultimate Age canon, they're highly advanced mutants. Fucking Wasp is a mutant, and that's how Hank Pym makes his technology by reverse engineering her fucking mutant power.
Oh, fuck's sake. Then again, we've got the Ultimate Universe to thank for Fantastic.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
In Josh Trank.
Again, I like some of the stuff from the Ultimate Age. Tony Stark being an alcoholic. Fucking white beater.
Stark was
fucking
an alcoholic in the original
Yeah,
timeline. That was,
yes, he was.
yeah, that's
Demon in a
why
bottle.
James Rhodes had to take over the role of Iron Man because he was so fucked up on the booze.
Yep.
In Ultimate, he's fucking worse. Again, you got.
No, he's not.
You got
Tony
white beater
Stark.
fucking Ant-Man. You know, again.
Yep. And
this-
he did it in the original as well, I believe.
Yeah.
Yep.
And to see him get fucking hit with the wrecking ball, I said it earlier. I fucking love that scene in that comic. he gets smacked with the wrecking ball by Steve Rogers. And he told
You ever seen that movie where they're on that ice planet and they take down the big guy with the table?
Yeah.
Steve Rogers in the Ultimate Universe is an arsehole.
Well, no, he's not an asshole. He's really a man out of time. And
He's an actual arsehole. He will do things that mainstream Captain America would not condone.
Well, yeah, like beating up on. No, he would. He would condone some of the shit he does. He's not an asshole.
Some of it. Some of it, not all of it.
They play up his more man out of time stuff. Like him and Ross start dating, and she says like, I can't deal with your friend because essentially, I feel like I'm robbing the grave. I'm robbing the grave. You're old. you just look young. And that's why they break up. He can't keep up with her, she can't keep up with his.
You know when Spidey was in the Avengers in the mainstream universe?
Yes, he was part of the B-team, Wolverine.
Yeah, Steve Rogers actually gets on really well with Aunt May.
Because they're both around technically the same fucking age.
Yeah?
Technically. He just looks young.
No, he is young because he was in suspended animation. He is still young.
If you were to do his canonical age, he'd be well into Aunt May's age.
Yeah,
nowadays he'd be over 100.
Age for 70-something years.
Yeah, he'd be 90 something.
The reason he would get along with Aunt May is just because they would share some reference
He was
points.
born in 1911, canonically.
Yeah.
So he's over 100. But either way, the best version of Captain America was in Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes, the cartoon series.
Ah, man.
The worst one is in Avengers Assemble, which is a shite show.
The Super SD, where they're like all the same height and chibi.
The Avengers Assemble, that's the one that's basically supposed to be the MCU version.
Oh!
Where every week the male Avengers fuck up and the Black Widow has to save them.
Oh yeah, the one with Kang in the opening.
No, that's Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
No, that's Avengers Assemble.
The one where, let's think, and there came a day like no other. Starts like that.
No, Avengers Assemble. Where it showed first it showed the Hydra attacking the city.
That's Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they showed
the
they showed Kang attacking the city.
Theme song sounds like they're singing about fighting a silver battle swan.
Yeah.
Yeah, always we will fight a swan, silver battle swan.
Yeah, and then like Avengers Assemble.
Yeah. It's also got the best version of the Hulk in it as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did you want to say hello?
Not really, no.
Did you hear that?
Couldn't hear a thing.
Oh.
It's a
I've
cat.
got combat in my ear.
It's a cat.
I'm being pestered by mines to scratch her, and I'm trying to fight. The trial Ant-Man. Ant-Man was ostracized for spousal correction. God damn it, James.
Getting back to doing humor in these things, on Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes being the best version of the Hulk, it really is because he was funny without being being a comedian.
Remember when Hawkeye touched his trinkets?
I'm not done.
One of my favourite comments from that Hulk was Hulk smash rock Einstein.
Remember when one of them touches like his little glass figurines, he goes, "Put it down."
I also had one of my favourite versions of the Wasp.
Yeah, with the antenna ears.
No, it was the character. She was a delightful character.
Okay. I'm not getting to that one anytime soon.
is defeated. Excellent work.
fucking hate going through this damn nebula.
Yay! I'm losing hull integrity. Yay! Tholian death trap. Yay! Defeated. I should have brought my fleet. I should have brought my fleet carrier, shouldn't I?
Maybe.
God damn, I hate doing this one. This fucking nebula.
So hi.
Oh, we're through it.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch character. I'll
Alright.
accept your reward first.
But when Hulk is on monitor duty and Black Panther is on Hulk duty,
Yeah.
and Black Panther's just sitting there quietly meditating,
Oh god.
and Hulk's staring at him, and then finally says, "You talk too much."
Yep.
That's fucking
Uh,
funny. That's
you know-
funny without being a comedian.
You notice in Avengers Assemble, they always make Thor's basically just a moronic Fabio with a hammer.
Yes.
Whereas in Earth's Mightiest Heroes, he's intelligent.
He would
Oh
be.
yeah, and he's
ancient.
contemplative
Right.
too.
Yeah. Why aren't you fighting back? Because I'm too busy concentrating on what? Hey, what's happened? Why can't I move? Right, I'm switching character now.
Again,
Who
he
is
should
the
be
dog that
intelligent. He
properties
is a
of my
fucking
hammer?
ancient warrior.
Yeah.
Even if it isn't like conventional wisdom, like he should just be like, I've had enough experience to realize, holy shit, I can do some more without actually fucking fighting. I say this and I keep saying this and I would love to see it.
They did. Sorry.
If they wanted to give a female Thor's hammer, they should have given it to Storm.
Well, actually, there is a female Thor in Marvel. It's from a What If where Jane Foster got the hammer.
No. Hear me out. If
You're
they
in
were
11,
gonna-
are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
Yes.
If they were going to give anybody a hammer, they should give it to Storm. She has similar power sets. She is more contemplative.
God,
and she's
no.
already a leader.
She's a Mary Sue already.
No, she's not. Storm has her biggest flaw. She's fucking claustrophobic, and you can defeat her with that shit. She's been broken by keeping her in a little box.
I agree,
They've already
Cannibal.
made.
I like John,
they've-
and I love the animated. That's one of the few Marvel animated stuff that I'm not Marvel. Disney.
They've made
DC. Animated standalones that I like even more than some of the Superman.
see, they've made Storm in the comics. She's Queen of Wakanda now. She's also an actual goddess now. Yeah, not just worshipped as one. She's a goddess now.
Well,
All
she's a
right,
mega-
so in the current comics, yes, they have overpowered her. What they should have done was keep because technically, she has flaws. Like she's fucking claustrophobic as fuck. You keep her
She
in
was
the-
arrogant as fuck as well.
She was arrogant as fuck, and
And
you know
that
she
was deliberately written into her character.
and she was slow to fight. But when she did fucking fight, she went all out. But she was slow to do it.
My
She wa-
favorite quote from her was actually from the X-Men movie. You know, yeah. What happens to a frog that's hit by 1,000 volts of lightning? Same as happens to everything.
Same thing that happens to everything else.
I'm sorry, that was a shitty line. That's right up to his blade going, "Some motherfuckers always want ice skate uphill."
All right, but there's a problem. The reason why that joke doesn't land
You
is
take that shit back right now. That is one of the best fucking lines from any Marvel movie ever.
all right.
Which
there's a
one, the
reason-
storm line or the blade
From
line?
Blade. But I
No,
do
no,
agree,
the
the
storm
storm line, I wanted to rip my fucking eyeballs
Alright,
out.
there's
And
a
again,
reason-
Oh.
I did some of the location photography for X-Men.
But there's
You
a
also
reason for
fucked
that
up
one.
the blade line.
But there's a
He
reason
says
for that
it's
storm line.
some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
All right, but there's a reason for that storm line. In the movie, in the original script, Toad was always talking like, "What happens when you deal with a frog? You know, when you're doing with a frog." He was constantly saying that, and then that's why she said that line back to him. You know what happens when you do this to a frog? Same thing that happens to everything else.
Yep.
Except for getting hit by a bolt of lightning, there are people that survive.
Yeah, but it was
But
the line was because he kept using that. He kept
Yeah.
that was his
Okay.
saying.
But even whether or not it was a good line in itself, it was delivered on
Poorly.
screen in like
Without
the
setup.
dumbest way. It was so
It didn't have the
bad
setup.
delivery, and I don't
It's
blame
almost
Halle
like Halle
because
Berry
I've
was trying to channel an accent that she couldn't pin down.
Oh God,
yeah,
Jesus Christ,
like
her
I
accent
like
was
I
atrocious.
like I'm saying, I don't fault her entirely for it because it was Singer telling her to do these things,
Why
Right.
can't I join a random TFO?
and it's again, it's not like she's a bad actor. This was just not the. It was a good role for her, but let her be her instead of fake accent weird line delivery type person.
Yeah.
I would rather no. Don't let it be her.
Well, another line from that movie.
Let her be the character she's playing.
Another instance of bad line delivery is when she says to Logan, "At least I've chosen a side," because she doesn't let the words flow. You know, at least I've chosen a side. She
And
goes, "At least I've chosen a side."
That's why the actor who played her in the '90s series was so great.
Yeah,
she delivered the lines so well for
Yeah,
Storm.
she did deliver the lines well, but the lines were stupid.
And the worst
show. It was a Saturday morning
they were
kids
trash.
show.
The worst actress to play
quench
Jean
their
Grey
thirst
was
for violence. Fuck you.
worst actress to play Jean
Stupid
Grey was
rhyming, slang, fucking just
the
fuck
redheaded
that
bint
garbage.
from
Idiot retard. My
Game of
cousin wrote
Thrones.
this shit.
Oh, you talking about
Sophie Turnip.
I get angry, goddammit.
It is.
Yes, I know her real name is Sophie Turnip, but I call her Sophie Turnip because that's what all she is. She's insipid. She can't act.
No, she cannot.
She's just the wrong side of being not attractive as well. Just.
Who played her in the goddamn one with James McAvoy?
Played who?
In the modern ones.
No, played who? I didn't hear who the character.
Jean Grey?
Jean Grey, yeah.
Oh fuck, I don't know.
That was Kelly Clefferson.
And one thing that keep getting wrong in the
No,
films
it's,
about
because it was
is
Mystique that got
Frances
pissed off at her.
Blenderfenden.
so one thing that kept getting wrong about the Phoenix in the films is Jean Grey was never the Phoenix. The Phoenix impersonated her.
The Phoenix was a fucking entity.
Yep.
Yes. It was controlling her.
No, it replaced impersonated her. Because they found when they thought they'd killed her, they actually found Jean Grey later, where the Phoenix was keeping her in suspension.
Yeah, Jennifer Lawrence is the one that pissed me off with her insipidness as Mystique.
Oh God, yeah, that line. Maybe we should call this team the X-Women because it's the women who keep saving the men around here.
Yeah, it's shitty dialogue, shitty writing.
Yeah.
The thing is, I like Jennifer Lawrence when she's
not
just
talking.
being Jennifer Lawrence. No, when she's just being Jennifer Lawrence and she's like telling a story about when she farted on stage, because she'll tell stories about that stuff. Because she and then she's really charming about it.
Yeah. Do you know who would have made a great rogue?
Who?
Aubrey Plaza.
Let me look her up.
Parks and
Wait,
Recreations.
The one who typically just plays angry because she's not actually much of an act. Like, she actually brings up that's like the reason why she likes acting is she can just be told what they want, and that's what she goes for.
Yeah.
And she predominantly just plays an angry chick.
She's good at what she does.
Or an asshole, yeah. Yeah, she was the friend in Scott Pilgrim versus the World as well.
Oh,
the one who they first bleeped out the stuff.
Hey, a movie in which Brie Larson actually was able to act.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, 21 Jump Street isn't a great movie in that whole thing, but Brie Larson did well in that one.
You not noticed that she actually looked better before she had a plastic surgery as well.
Yeah.
Most women do.
What was
But let me point out, Brie Larson is out of demand.
Good.
No one's hiring her. We're not hearing about the next greatest.
To work with.
We're not hearing the next great Brie Larson movie, are we?
She was in Kong Skull Island, and apparently she was a female lead, and I don't remember seeing her in it.
Because no one.
You can even see in the interviews how uncomfortable when she says some of the retarded shit that she says. Anthony Mackie and Chris Evans and
Oh yeah, she
Keenan,
was. Don't touch me. Don't touch
like
me.
they kind of
No,
like
that was Don
that
Cheadle.
was Jeremy
Pretty
Renner
cool.
and
Don Cheadle.
the guy who played Rhodey.
Cheadle.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Don Cheadle, yes.
Yeah,
Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Jeremy. Yeah, she was getting interviewed. It was just her and Jeremy Renner, and yeah,
He would not
Jeremy
look at her like
Renner.
that.
You can tell by his body language, he didn't want to be anywhere near her.
Cause she was an insufferable bitch.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, I mean-
and Chris Evans and Chris Hemsworth also did not like her. Like she was so difficult to work with, and it's mostly to do with who she is as a person, because she is one of the woke mind virus zombies.
Yeah.
And they are both very classically American.
Yes.
Like, have you noticed Chris Hemsworth in that interview with him and Don Cheadle? He started out trying to be friendly. Yeah, have a bit of a laugh. And
You're gonna be
she
next
just
whoever
took
so much.
umbrage, so he just played with her.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna be the next to you. Thank you very much.
I'm going to be no. I want to be the next me. Thank you very much.
I think I can pull up that interview. Why the fuck am I doing it? Brie Larson.
I'm gonna jump out of the game then because we're at that 2-hour mark anyway.
All right.
And I'm gonna overheat, but I'm staying on stream, so you can't get rid of that.
Brie Larson interview. Chris Hemsworth.
So you're
Yep,
going
there it
to pick a thing to do,
Brie
or
Larson.
you finish with the game?
Finish with the game.
Okay.
Womp womp.
Sorry, you come late.
No. Did you hear me complain? You didn't hear me complain. There's a reason for that, because I didn't complain.
Some people don't come at all.
Ooh.
I did.
Yes, eunuchs of the
But
world unite. You have nothing to
I'm still-
lose.
I really am still fascinated by the fact that we haven't seen any actors file lawsuits against production companies yet.
Or
And I follow a entertainment lawyer on Twitter, and I really am tempted to ask him this question, but because he's an entertainment lawyer, I'm afraid if he answers it publicly, it might fuck up his career. And fuck these entertainment lawyers are actually working for. Are they working for their clients or for the studios? Because
For themselves.
at
Well, it
some
depends.
point there's got to be a lawyer who's saying to Daisley Ridley, look, get this in your contract.
I did my stunts
guaranteed
because I
money
thought that's what
because
everyone did, and
Could
then
Tom Cruise? Is
Disney's
that you?
already
no, I'll be the
involved
first
your
me,
acting
not the
career.
next Tom Cruise. Thank you very much.
And they have.
well, that would be on her agent, not necessarily a lawyer.
Well, no, but
There's
their
enough.
agents and their lawyers both get involved with that shit.
I know, but my point is that a lot of the people who are brought on to the studio as sort of like, we're going to build you up, they have their agent who's probably already friendly with Disney or DC or Warner Brothers or whoever, but they will also be supplied a studio lawyer, which a lot of them take, and it's a bad move.
Yes.
Wait a minute. She could have been topless, and it would have been still been a bad line. The Storm line is heavily overrated. Personally, my favorite movie line from the old man in Independence Day as he kamikaze CEO said, "Hello, boys, I'm back."
Randy Quaid, get it right.
Yep. That was a great line, though.
Oh, it really was. Probably one of the better parts of that movie.
Again, he sacrifices himself, knowing, he goes in it willingly, and he sacrifices himself for mankind. Come on now, how you gonna hate that?
Oh, there's one thing. Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes. That they got the character spot on, but they got the characterization spot on, but what he actually was, they got wrong.
Mm-hmm.
The Vision. They made him an android. He wasn't. He was a synthezoid.
Yes.
And do you know what the difference is?
What?
Well, an android is a robot that is shaped to closely resemble a human. A synthezoid, like the original Human Torch was, is a living human, but they're created with synthetic cells.
Ah.
Yes. An android is a simulacrum.
Yeah. Like, Data's an android.
Yes.
The droids in Star Wars, which droid is actually short for android, are actually not droids, they're robots.
Yeah,
Robots.
the robots.
Robots.
Yes.
I love that line, the robots.
Beware the robot.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to the robot.
They're
Attack
robots.
of the space robot.
But yeah, I like Earth Mighty's Heroes.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Like I said, I like the Wasp. I mean, they really made her a great character.
Earth's Mightiest Heroes was Marvel's answer to the DC animated universe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a good answer.
That was another good one. Yeah. Yeah.
I
I'm Spider-Man. What's wrong with your voice? Oh, nothing.
I thought that they would be too hard to make fan films for Marvel and DC stuff, but there actually is some out there. I'm gonna filter through it because I think it'd be interesting to watch one or two of them.
Shit.
Yeah, I'd like to see some actual comic fans who are animators handle the Marvel DC crossovers.
If you go to the new channel, you will see that we are doing Logan the Wolf, a Wolverine fan film.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We're doing Cellar Dweller.
Did you know in the multiverse?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's still canonical, but at least one time there used to be a universe called the Crossover Verse, where Marvel and DC existed side by side in the same world.
Superman couldn't beat the Hulk, and Hulk couldn't beat Superman, so Superman just threw him across the planet and said, I don't have time to deal with you now.
But you have fusion.
He actually calmed the Hulk down.
Later, yeah.
No, because the Hulk knocked Superman across the city. Superman came back and he tried it again and he couldn't move him.
No, this is when they were. Oh God, yeah, I think they were in Arizona or something. He just.
Oh,
they were fighting and he just like throws him into a mountain across the planet because
that was the
he just
relatively
needed to get away from him.
That was the relatively intelligent Hulk, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when he was using Banner's machine to cheat. I've read that one.
Oh, maybe, but he wasn't intelligent while he was the Hulk.
No, by intelligent, I mean like average intelligence. He didn't your own Hulk smash and all that stuff. He talked more like Ben Grimm.
I think so. So. The amalgam story.
Yeah, the amalgams where they're fusions.
Yeah, there were a couple fusions like Wolverine, Batman.
That was another good fucking take for most of it, apart from Spider-Boy.
Great.
The amalgam universe.
The Tone Loc song into my head.
I mean, Legends of the Dark Claw.
Oh yeah. Dark Claw was fucking Sabretooth and
No, it was Wolverine and Batman.
Oh
yeah.
Then one thing must have been Sabretooth
Hyena.
and fucking
Hyena
was Sabretooth
was
from Joker.
Sabretooth. Yep.
Okay. Couldn't remember.
And then Captain America and Superman became the Super Soldier.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange Fate.
Yeah. Doctor Doomsday.
Doomsday. Yeah. Doctor Doomsday. That was fucking.
Challengers of the Fantastic.
Strange Academy with
Yeah.
Fuck, who was Thor?
Oh God, they had what was it?
Was it Thor and Black Knight? No, Black Knight's Marvel. I don't remember.
Oh yes, and the amalgam of Captain Marvel and Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Amalgam of Thor.
What did they call the amalgam of Captain Marvel and Captain Marvel? Oscar?
Captain
Marvel.
Steve.
Storm Wonder Woman.
Oscar Man.
The fuck was Storm Wonder Woman? Wonderstorm.
List of amalgam creatures. Is it this one? Super Soldier, Clark Kent, amalgam is Superman and Captain America, Dark Claw, Batman and Wolverine, Deadeye, Deadshot and Bullseye,
The Night Creeper.
Doctor Doom, Doomsday, and Doctor Doom. Doctor Strange Fate, Doctor Strange, Lethal, Cheetah and Craven the Hunter, Night
Thor
Cruiser,
L.
Creeper and Nightcrawler, the Skulk, Solomon Grundy and the Hulk. That's kick-ass. Spider-Boy, Superboy, and Spider-Man.
God, that was horrible.
Mutant Man, Bishop and Superman, Martian Phoenix, Phoenix and Martian Manhunter, Green Cyclops, Cyclops and Green Lantern, Dark Light, Jubilee and Batman. Wow, I need to look that one up. That sounds kick-ass. Flashbang, Cannonball and Flash, King Ice, Iceman and Aquaman, Thor-El, Thor and Superman, Green Goliath, Giant Man and Green Lantern and Hal Jordan's Green Lantern, Jean Black, Marvel Girl and Black Canary, Captain America Jr., Captain America and Captain Marvel Jr., Quick Freeze, Iceman and Impulse, Red Wing, Angel and Robin Tim Drake, Wonder Wasp, Wasp and Wonder Girl, Wonder Woman, aka the Amazon, Princess Aurora of Themyscira, Wonder Woman and Storm, Siri, DC Siri, and Marvel Siri.
Their best alternate was Age of Apocalypse, hands down. It's a shame the movie came nowhere close.
Oh shit, Giganta. Giganta and Gargantua.
What about the what ifs that Marvel put up? There were some pretty good ones.
Yeah.
Let me
What if
look that
there's
one
some
up.
really good ones? The thing is,
what was that-
Batman,
what was
when
that
they do
one?
things like Age of Apocalypse, they hold on to a couple of the characters that were created, and it actually adds to some freshness to what's been going on with these characters that are well received.
Wait, are we talking about like the comic book what ifs, like the modern ones they do? Because some of those were
I'm on
fucking
about-
god awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most
Well,
of
it's
them
hit or
were
miss.
god awful.
All of them.
Did you ever read?
Like
There's
seeing
one
the
that
one
I-
of like what if Miles, what if
it's a-
Thor was Miles Morales and they had by Odin's fate? It'd be like,
Yeah,
you
I'm
do
on about the
realize that these
original
are
what- I'm on about
that they
the
would
original what
still
ifs.
be fucking God damn it! Now I'm trying to think of the word for it. It's like still
Yeah.
be proper Vikings that would just happen to be black.
No.
Yeah,
Like,
they would-
fucking motards.
But what I'm on about is the original what ifs, because there's one. There's a few that I've got. And one of the ones it's really tongue in cheek, but I enjoy it. It's what if the original Marvel bullpen became the Fantastic Four? Jack Kirby is the Thing.
I'm gonna have to look that one up.
Which was amusing because apparently they based Ben Grimm's personality around Jack Kirby.
It'd be the clobbering hour, man.
Shit.
But,
wait a minute, really quick. I got this. Gotta read this. The White Witch. Amalgam of Zatanna Zatara and Scarlet Witch. That's kick ass.
There was also what if Rick Jones became the Hulk?
Oh God.
That was actually quite good.
Do they do White Lightning mixed with anybody?
Uh,
You know, the guy who gets his powers from cocaine.
We call him Speedball now. Get it right.
that's white powder.
Call him Speedball now. Come on now, guys.
Come on, you guys.
I mean, what's annoying me with Marvel right now is I said, the Blue Marvel was the first superhero, and but nobody remembers him. No. Sentinel was the first actual superhero, but nobody remembers him because he didn't want to be remembered. Or there was a black super soldier before Steve Rogers.
What?
Did you not
Yeah.
see the Holy Integrity?
Yeah, I know the Isaiah Bradley and all that, but
Yeah,
Oh.
it's
I'm sorry.
retconning characters in, where they shouldn't be.
right.
Wait a minute. Batman. when you said you were losing hull integrity, James said losing hull integrity, a beginner's guide to the gay lifestyle.
I did not say that. No, it's a good line though. I like it. That line has my approval.
Can any of these women make me a proper sandwich? I don't know.
Yes, there's a woman over here who has the power of transformation. She can make you a proper sandwich. And somebody will eat you.
Eat me.
Said, make me a martini. She goes, poof, you're a martini.
Hey, can you imagine, Alice in Wonderland? She finds a cake with "Eat Me," right?
And
On it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But also somebody's put a post-it note on it saying, "Yeah, do not eat this. This is the property of such and such."
Do not eat the. It says underneath says the white rabbit. Get the rice.
Yeah, do not eat this property of White Rabbit. I'm sick of people stealing my lunch.
The thing that really ground my gears was Matthew Vaughn revitalized X-Men as far as film went. And then Bryan Singer was like, no, it's my toy. Came back and ruined everything.
Naturally.
Because the idea of having the X-Men in every decade, so we start off in the 70s, late 60s and 70s, and then the 80s movie, and then the 90s movie, and then like, that was a good idea to bring these characters that had several decades of backstory into the modern world. Is you tell the story in sequential order.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and apparently the Fantastic Four movie that they're thinking of is going to be a female empowerment movie.
Oh God, Jesus Christ!
So
yeah,
another movie
Reed Richards is going to be, ironically, called Mr. Fantastic, or sarcastically called Mr. Fantastic by the Invisible Woman.
All right, so, okay, this is what I hate. I really hate this, and it's going to piss me off. Again, they're supposed to be a team, and he is their leader.
No, they're not supposed to be a team. They're supposed to be a family.
Well, yeah.
Get it right.
Because all of them are, well, except for Ben Grimm, but they're best friends, so I get that.
Well, you got a brother-sister combo, and then a marriage.
And then
relationship that turns into marriage, which then you have Grimm, who is
all it's in the purpose is his brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like his longtime friend. So he is family of Reeds, just not by blood.
Yeah.
But they're family. So everybody's got that strong connection. They're not a team. And part of what you should do as a filmmaker to bring these characters to life is have that flaw in that they're not a team and they have to constantly work together as a team and do better as a team.
To be perfectly honest, the first Fantastic Four movie in 2005, they got that, and they did it right.
Yeah, because not only were they also coming to grips and learning to use their powers, but they were coming to grips and learning to use themselves, the four of them as a team.
And
I just think they shut their load too fast by bringing Doom. Like, their first villain is Doom. That's stupid.
It should have been the Mole Man.
Yep, Mole Man.
Yeah. You know how I would have done if I would have used the same cast, right, as they used in 2005.
Okay.
Yeah, but I would have set it in 1963, and I would have done it as comic book accurate to the first Fantastic Four story as I could.
Yeah, irradiated by gamma rays as they're doing the space thing.
Cosmic rays.
Cosmic rays, and while they're doing the space thing.
Yeah, but that's the second story. That's the second film.
Okay.
The first film is dealing with the Mole Man. The second film is dealing with the origin.
Okay.
That's an interesting way to do it.
That's the way they did it in the comics.
I don't know if that would work in film.
Yeah, I don't like it in film, especially when you're trying to build a franchise.
No, I've got
don't start in the middle. You start at the beginning and you work your way up.
Why is Rotncorpse trying to communicate in Morse code?
It happened.
It tends to
Is air conditioner or fan or something?
Probably a fan.
It is the way of things.
It is
Yeah.
the way of things.
I'm not complaining. I just I like know what the noises are I hear.
Those noises
Probably
are
a little bit of
all
me chewing and possibly my air conditioner.
Yeah.
You do not hear
But
them.
I mean,
Fair
that's
enough.
why I like your idea, Batman, of like, yeah, let's do. Even though I would prefer the continual timeline, like, but let's start it off, more street level with Mole Man and something that's not as powerful. Then you can build up a little bit more. Eventually, they face Doom, who not only is powerful but is smart and blah 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 blah. And then eventually, you get to bigger and bigger powers,
Like
and then
Galactus.
like Galactus, yeah, Silver Surfer, Galactus, and then eventually they do deal with the other properties
Shit.
when you have those crossovers.
Here's how you
to
do
make
it, man.
And you can put them into the mainstream MCU quite easily.
Yeah,
I
this is
mean,
how you do it.
the first MCU Fantastic Four movie, right? It starts off with this, NORAD's going crazy because there's this object appeared out of nowhere in Earth orbit, and it's going to crash into New York. It crashes into it's a controlled crash. You know the boating lake in Central Park.
Yeah.
It crashes there, right? Then just before the credits start, the hatch gets smashed open by this large orange arm. Yeah, not a rocky orange arm, more like dinosaur hide, because we're going with the early thing here.
Okay.
And nobody's heard of the Fantastic Four, right? Because they haven't happened in the mainstream Marvel universe. But there is a report of this guy called Reed Richards who stole his own prototype rocket in 1963. Was never heard of again. Yeah, and unfortunately, they can't get home. They're stuck in the mainstream Marvel universe.
See, I think the
So-
next multi-phase thing that Marvel does, for one, reboot. Just forget everything that's come before. We're going to start over with a new story, and I think this is how they should do it going forward. You take one arc. We just did the Infinity arc, so okay, we're done with that. We move on. This
Okay.
time we since all the they've worked to get all the Marvel properties back under one umbrella again for the most part. Use that to our advantage.
Galactus.
We set up individual films for different heroes, and depending on the hero. I mean, like Fantastic Four, you have to start with the Fantastic Four.
Yep.
But you do Captain America, Iron Man. You do their individual stories. You build up to the Avengers. You have a few Fantastic Four films going on, and you build up an X-Men franchise as well. And while you have little links between them throughout all the films, you don't do big
No
crossovers yet.
Yeah, like
The big
getting full
crossover-
frontal.
The big crossover is going to be the major event in this
The-
franchise.
The world
And
ended
that
bright.
major event, I think, should be Acts of Vengeance.
I've got a silly one to put for you now.
What's
Comedy
that?
version, right?
What?
Comedy version. Steve Rogers, he's an old man now, retired, right? But all of his enemies come out of retirement as well, and they're all old people as well, right?
Mhm.
They're trying to fight Steve Rogers, who's still, super soldier serums altered him on a genetic level, so he's a lot faster and more powerful than a man of his age should be, right? Even though he's like over 100.
Is this going to be a Marvel Golden Girls thing, or?
No. We call it the Infirmity Wars.
Nice.
You would
That's
have
what
to
I
do
was saying.
Acts of Vengeance on a lot smaller scale, though.
Yeah.
Like
What's that?
X-Men, Avengers, Fantastic
but
Four.
You,
But
you
like-
I
build-
shall return.
if you're
And
building
leave
for,
you, but hold on. Leave yourself a little room so that when you want to bring in Excalibur, Cable, X-Force, whatever, there's room for the next big
Yes.
blockbuster to have had those movies and then bring them in. So we already know that Avengers and X-Men have already worked together once, and now they're aware of each other. Blah 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 blah. But now they're facing an even bigger threat that they alone, they might need some help, and some other people have shown up throughout the years, and they recruit them, or they show up and say, hey, we're here to help, kind of thing. And you can keep going forward, and like I keep saying, like, you have this train going, and you just keep adding to it, little by little. You don't have to keep doing the big stories, the dark sides, the Galactuses every single fucking time.
Right, exactly.
It should be built up. You want to edge that motherfucker until you can't edge no more, and then you give them Thanos and the Infinity Gauntlet, and then you give them Darkseid, and then you give them the Eternals or whatever, like something big, like really big.
Again, I think they did it wrong. This is what it should have been. It should have been the Kree Skrull as the major threat. Then it should have been Galactus, and then it should have been Thanos, because Thanos snaps half of the fucking universe out. That's what they should have been.
And for them doing Thanos, they should not have made him a sympathetic villain. Let him be the fucking crazy Titan.
The Mad Titan, yes.
Mad Titan,
yes.
And let him be trying to fucking woo death.
Yes, yes, double yes.
Instead,
but
they made him
I
an
did
environmentalist.
like this interpretation, this reimagining of Thanos. I still want to see OG. He's doing it all because he's dick crazy over death.
And
I mean, that's how they introduced
It's just simply crazy.
And again, they should play up that Deadpool's wife is a personification of death. And she fucking... Oh, I'm just using him. I'm in love with him. I was just using you. I'm actually in love with Deadpool. Oh, okay. I got that ass. You can't die. like
could you imagine? Could you imagine, like, okay, like, again, with Mitch's line of reasoning, we get that first X-Men Avengers crossover pinnacle after 8 movies or something. Really awesome. Okay. And then Excalibur.
Yeah.
Like, nobody's touched Excalibur. Excalibur's still a really cool team. And you can pick and choose who you want throughout the years who's been in Excalibur to add to the franchise. So, yeah, even though Betsy Braddock wasn't an original member of Excalibur because she was in X-Men, but you start her off there. And then you're adding a fan favorite in Psylocke, giving her some actual screen time instead of just whatever Olivia Munn.
They should do the Avengers West Coast. I would love to see
Cloak and God.
Yeah. Well, that's where you would have the fracturing of a team later on, in that the team just, it gets a little meaty. There's too many characters jumping around. So Rhodey goes off and starts off Avengers West Coast, and he brings Vision and Wanda with him, let's say. So now Tony, Rogers and Thor, whatever, like they're doing this stuff that, maybe they're doing more stuff in space, where the Avengers West Coast are taking more of the domestic duties or whatever until the next big, but again, when you're fracturing the team like that, you can add another 2-3 characters to the Avengers West Coast, introduce 2 or 3 new characters throughout the next series of movies, who that leads up to the not fracturing, but the splitting off of the team to sort of delegate duties a little bit more. Okay, you guys are domestic, we're doing international and like big threat kind of stuff, or off-world kind of stuff, or whatever,
Yes.
It's a good way to keep things going, but keep them separate.
Yeah.
Because again, when you have just real quick, when you have a team like X Factor, a favorite of mine, they were basically the X-Men, but they were what do you call them? G-Men. They were just a G-Men, and you have that series going on while the X-Men are still off, fighting Magneto and stuff. But these guys are fighting genetic experiments in Uganda or something.
They're fighting Mr. Sinister.
Yeah. They're doing more clandestine stuff. It's more very different feel than the other stuff. To keep it fresh and interesting, so that nothing is really just constantly repeating the same superhero tropes.
Right, and you can still have things overlap, but they don't contradict.
Exactly.
Really quickly, James Colley. No edging. Do you want Kamala Harris? Because edging is how you get Kamala Harris. Okay, James. No edging.
That's
I don't agree with him on that
What?
aspect.
Go take up Frosted's corner or something. Go sit in the corner.
But again, you there are so many different teams, so many different characters you could bring in. Again,
Oh,
I would like to
there's
see
too
a proper run. I'm a huge fan of the Runaways, huge fan, and I would love to see a proper movie with the Runaways. Like you could set them they could fight on any side because they're also on the West Coast. You can have them go against Cloak and Dagger like they did. You can have them go against the Pride, which is their family. That's their big bad. It's the Pride.
Yep.
So you can have that, and they're fucking. I love Alex because he doesn't have any superpowers. He's just fucking smart. You could have the train turn. Go ahead.
I would kill for it to be so big that they'd have to do a House of M storyline.
Oh, fucking yes.
No more mutants. And then, boom, you're like basically at ground zero with, whatever heroes you want to choose, but you no longer have 12 different teams. You're back to just doing X-Men.
Yeah.
Shit. And it revitalizes it in something that every once in a while is a good thing without doing a hard reboot of everything.
All right, this I got an idea for that first initial Fantastic Four movie. They're dealing with the Inhumans. They're a low level enough threat that they really don't bother anything. They're not huge, but it will also set the stage for a Galactus movie down the line, because Nova becomes his new herald, and that's how they defeat Galactus. You don't kill him, you just send his ass away.
Yep.
So it sets up in the first movie, they dealing with the Inhumans, and they build an uneasy alliance because you defeated us, all right, we're not going to fuck with the surface. Now you move on to Dr. Doom, who is fucking with something that they got to deal with. So that's your second movie, dealing with Doom. And that shows progression. And then Fantastic Four 3 is Silver Surfer comes and you don't defeat him. He just gives the all call to summon Galactus. That's his purpose. He is the not the end. What was the movie before Endgame? Fucking
Infinity War.
Yeah. He's the Infinity War. Him summoning Galactus and then like, oh well, my job done, so I'm about to leave.
Yeah, he's basically going to go find the tallest mountain and yodel.
Yes, essentially. And it's y'all, they fight him there, and he like, I don't have to fucking win. My purpose isn't winning. I just gotta send out the call.
Yeah.
And he'll hear it. And that's holy shit. And then you could have at the end of the movie, every Earth satellite or every thing that's monitoring deep space goes, there's something fucking massive coming this way.
Yeah, each sensor system just goes, what?
Yes. So and that sets up, Planet Killer. We'll call that first movie Summoner, and then we'll call the second movie Planet Killer.
The last sensor system just goes,
Yeah. So now the fourth movie is you dealing with Galactus, who's a planet-wide threat. And again, it's not you defeating him; it's just you banishing him. And you could have that in that series of movies after that first one. You can set up this relationship between Nova and Johnny Storm. So when she has to
Frankie Ray.
Huh?
Frankie Ray.
Yeah, so when she becomes his new herald, you can have that emotional like gut punch while I'm giving up the woman I love to save my planet.
I like that what if that they did an assistant editor's month where Aunt May became Galactus' next herald.
There's a what if she becomes his next herald? Really?
Yeah, the golden oldie, and she instead of feeding him on planets, she's feeding him on milk and cookies.
Really? The golden...
The golden oldie.
Yep. It was Assistant Editor's Month.
Yes.
I have to look that up. I don't know why, but I have to. Oldie Galactus.
Now
I
here's
think
what
how
you want
you
to
have
look
to
up.
do. What?
You want to look up what if and what the.
Oh, what does are even fun?
Yes.
They're so much fun.
Yeah.
I think to do that, like the best way to go about it is like, okay, you have the first herald, probably Silver Surfer, whatever,
Maybe
and they're committed to the cause, but they're so powerful because he's got the power cosmic that they literally have to kill him. And so they think they've won, and then they see something coming, and it's like, oh shit, Galactus is here. But eventually, like by the time he gets to the last sensor system, they realize they have no way to stop him. So somebody, maybe Reed or something, finds some way to communicate with Galactus and says, if you spare our planet, obviously I'm powerful enough that I killed your herald. I will become your new herald and do whatever you say.
Yeah. Oh, and just for Tia,
because I don't hold on, Pat. I don't want them to just beat Galactus or send him away. I want them to basically delay, and then you can do proper like way later. Actually, have these people like pinnacle level power levels. Sorry, Bats, go.
Really quick, go Batman.
I'm just putting something in chat for you, in general for you.
Okay.
It's from a what if, and see if you can guess who got bitten by the spider.
Oh. What
That's
if Aunt
funny.
May became Spider?
So Batman, I got one. Here's a better one. All right, so you know that Ego the Living Planet. You could have that Ego the Living Planet is actually fucking Ego the Living Planet, and he fucking hates Galactus. So you could have him coming to Earth, like and you could have that Galactus keeps his word. Like, oh, if you do this to me, I'll leave your planet in peace.
Apparently, one of the Marvel writers, because Ego was always angry, right?
Mm-hmm.
Had actually nicknamed him Ego the Livid Planet.
The Livid Planet. This kick ass. But you could now you got this massive threat that's coming to Earth that they gotta ask Galactus for help. So now he comes back as a fair weather friend.
Yep.
Not necessarily an ally, but it's because he's my enemy and he's after you guys. We can make a deal.
The frightening thing about Ego the Living Planet, I mean, the DC tried to make their version with the planet that became a Green Lantern.
Manga.
But Ego could actually animate other planets in the same manner that he was animated, but they were all under his control when he did so.
Yeah, you're talking about
That makes
Mungo.
him scary much. No, Ego could do that. Mungo couldn't.
No, I'm talking about, you said the one that becomes the Green Lantern. Yeah, Mungo. It's because of him that the Lantern ring get shot into space.
He farts them.
Nah, it's because like his will, he shoots it out.
Funny thing is, that's not a new concept in a living planet is not a new concept in science fiction. You call them the world beasts.
Oh, it's not a new concept in real life either. We have Nikocado Avocado.
I'm going to hunt you down, and you know what I'm doing when I find you?
Feed me McDonald's.
I'm going to stare at you disapprovingly.
Did you make Batman go?
That's why I have
put a
cats.
mother on you.
And I'm going to shake my head in shame at you.
You gonna do the Indian shake?
Functional. Functional. He's not angry at you. He's just disappointed.
Yeah, I'm going to do the disappointed shake and the dissatisfied mutterings and everything.
That's Batman.
Then I'll send you to your room without any supper.
Good plan.
Good plan.
After isolating your room from the house electricity supply.
Damn.
Oh God, back in the 80s and 90s, my cousin, her two sons, you know what she used to do to punish them?
What?
She'd switch their memory cards, right, with blank ones, and tell them that she'd wiped all their stuff.
She's a monster.
Yeah, she kept their memory cards safe for later on, but they had no access to them. But I worked to get those high scores, Mom.
She's a monster. She is.
Best thing is what I did to them in the late 80s Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
I bought them bought one of them a car that he was after, right?
Okay.
The other one was an original series phaser pistol, right?
Okay.
It wasn't an expensive toy, but it was what you wanted, so I bought them it. But I'd also bought them two other presents, as joke presents, and given the real presents to my cousin and her husband to give them.
Okay.
And I turned up on Christmas Day with these two boxes, and they tore them open within seconds, right? Just open. And then they stared at me with undisguised hate. Because one of them had opened a My Little Pony, the other one had opened a Barbie doll.
I'm not laughing. Well, yes I am. Fuck it. I'm laughing at that. That's fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah, it was a hell of a prank.
I still want to know who thought it was a good idea to cast Jason Momoa, fucking Aquaman, and not Lobo.
Yeah. The guy who played fucking the bad guy in Aquaman looked like Aquaman.
Yeah.
I mean, what's with that?
Fuck. I can't remember the guy's name.
Hey, here's what might be an unpopular opinion, right? The Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies. Now,
It is an unpopular opinion, and I'm not gonna let you say it. All right, go ahead.
No, Tobey Maguire did a good job, right? Can't
Okay.
fault him. He did an exceptional job in the last Tom Holland Spider-Man movie.
Okay.
But I can't help feeling that Topher Grace would have made a better Peter Parker and Spider-Man.
Quite possibly.
I can't see the problem with that. I can't see.
He had more of a look, and the self-depreciate. He had the self-depreciating attitude as well.
I can't. I get that would have worked. It's just hard to. They ruined him when they made him Eddie Brock. Eddie Brock is supposed to be. Huh?
I've seen it now. Topher Grace as Peter Parker, right?
All right.
And we get Kurtwood Smith to play Uncle Ben.
Yeah, that'd have been great. And just have him randomly throw a dumbass in there somewhere.
Yeah.
just a random dumbass.
Yes, but please no, because Topher's too old now.
Yeah, with great power comes great responsibility, dumbass.
Dumbass.
But the only real...
Go help out May before I break my foot off in your ass.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. I'm going to bring up the sound pad now.
Oh, fuck.
Just for one clip. Oh, Lord, you bastard. Yeah, or he could have said my favourite line, which is...
I will kick your ass so hard, your nose will bleed.
Damn.
He was so good for that role.
Yeah.
Yes.
That, if Red Foreman had been English, right, and had served in the British Army, that was my dad.
I don't think Topher Grace could probably play an older Spider-Man.
No, yes,
I think
back
we
then
need-
he could have played...
Before they die, we need a movie that includes Kurtwood Smith and Michael Ironside in some fashion.
They need to be in a horror. It needs to be a horror movie where they're working together. No, buddy
Maybe
cop.
like a
Can you
buddy. I
imagine-
was just thinking buddy cop movie where they're both like just been partners for so long. You know, one's almost about to retire, the other one's got like 2 years left.
Can you imagine getting Kurtwood Smith to play Odin, only he's got Red Foreman?
Yeah, that could work. All right.
Because I thought Anthony Hopkins played him far too soft.
There
Odin
wasn't enough
did
violence.
a lot of things, but he was never soft. And one of the big mistakes they made in the Thor movie, the first Thor movie, is they introduced the Norse gods the first time that anybody's ever heard of them on Earth in the 12th century, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's when they defeated the ice giants on Earth, right? The 12th century, right? That village scene.
Okay.
And then Odin is telling Thor and Loki this as story when they're children.
When they should have been there.
Yeah. Oh, the funny thing is, Loki. Norse mythology has him as a fire god.
I have to disagree with Anthony Hopkins because, like, he played him very tempered, very wise Odin, but then when Thor betrays him, he's like, "You're a vain, selfish boy."
Oh yeah, I'll
And
agree
I
with
was
that.
like,
But I don't know. It's just something.
He was trying to ram the message home.
Yeah.
well, I mean, like, I kind of agree with you that the softness was a little bit weird at the beginning, but I was like, okay, this is an old, wise Odin, and then when he does get like truly pissed off, and like his son betrays his trust,
Oh yeah,
like,
but
he unleashes. Like,
you got to remember, Odin is also a warrior god.
yeah,
Yes.
And another unpopular opinion. Jason Momoa is so far the best on-screen Conan.
fuck no,
Fuck you. Arnie will forever have that title.
Arnie.
Jason Momoa's Conan.
Why is a Hyborian barbarian speaking perfect English?
He's not. He's speaking Hyborian, so is everybody in the film. But
No, but he's a barbarian. He should be speaking in broken.
no, he shouldn't.
broken.
No, he shouldn't.
Well,
Should.
no.
You've never read. Hold on, Tate. You've never read the books. In the
book,
books,
he was highly intelligent.
yeah, he had a command of most of the languages spoken at the time, both speaking them and writing them and reading them, and a working knowledge of many ancient languages. And that was the Conan that Jason Momoa was playing, the intelligent one.
Again, Arnie's Conan wasn't stupid.
Kind of was.
Well, he's a barbarian.
Well,
Yeah, so?
he wasn't stupid either. Like, he understood a lot of things. He understood battle tactics. He understood, like, he was more
Well, because he
vengeful.
was trained to do so.
Yeah, shit. He understood philosophy. Remember, Conan, what is best in life?
I prefer Cohen from the Discworld's answer.
Watch
You know,
your enemies,
yeah.
see them driven before you, and hear the lamentations of their women.
No,
Exactly.
no. Good stew. Nothing. Easy food to chew, and soft toilet paper. Because Cohen the Barbarian was 98 years old.
Gonad the Barbarian.
All right, guys. I gotta shut this down before we get on with the weeds for too long.
We've been in the weeds for an hour.
We have been. Whatever drugs Batman is doing, I would like to buy.
I was quoting Terry Pratchett.
They're chasing down. All right, hold on. All right, I gotta say this one. All right. In that buddy cop movie with Jeremy Irons and Kurtwood Smith, they are chasing down Jeremy Irons. It's Simple Simon from
Die Hard 3.
They're chasing.
Yes.
They're chasing Jeremy Irons and
Charles Dance.
Tim Conway.
Oh my God! What was this? Fuck!
What was he in?
Oh, Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
Who are buddy criminal badasses.
Yeah, where's the? We need buddy criminal movies.
Shit, we already got heist movies.
I know, but they're different from buddy cop films.
No, I think you should have Jeremy Irons, Willem Dafoe, and Charles Dance, right?
Who's Charles Dance?
You see, the magic. Somebody's been messing around with the magic theatre ticket again. Charles Dance is reprising his role from Last Action Hero.
Oh shit!
Willem-
I remember that.
Willem Dafoe is the Green Goblin, and Jeremy Irons is the evil wizard from Dungeons and Dragons.
I like
Sorry,
that.
Oh God, I thought we were gonna end this.
We're trying to, but Batman just keeps bringing
I'll
shit
get
up.
into it later.
I'm gonna shut
Alright.
up now.
No, Josh.
Dungeons and Dragons. Fuck you.
It's terrible.
It's so bad. But
I've just been told if you don't send Kamala Harris $500 for the Apple gift cards, that you will be under the arrest.
Under the rest? Okay.
Yes.
was it spelled Kambala? Oh, Trump just tweeted like what 3-4 hours ago, said Kamala Harris. I was like, oh, God. Or the Truth Social or whatever. You know, this shit that gets repeated on Twitter anyway.
Oh man. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for coming out for MotZ in Space. As you can clearly see, we are a collection of idiots, dumbasses, and assholes. And we talk about just about any fucking thing we think about. You know? Any
That
parting
won't get
words
the
from
minions
everybody?
channel but messed up.
I want to die. I want to go to sleep.
Please let me die.
Okay,
No.
click bang.
I got nothing.
Beat me, whip me, hurt me, pleaded the masochist. No, said the sadist.
I need a nap.
Do you know that the CIA legitimately had to have a thing in their handbook for doing that whole thing that people that might have given you information are going to hold out because they enjoy the torture?
Okay.
You know, just the CIA director is just like, you make me sick. Yes, Daddy.
Now spit on me. Call me scum.
When they're interrogating you, just say, stop, you're giving me a boner.
All right.
I'm almost there. I'm almost there.
Just a little bit more. Was it good for you? It's good for me.
All right, we're gone.
All right. So, with that, ladies and gentlemen, the zoo is closed. Have a good night, all. Push this button. Push that button.
Boom!